We're coming to you live tonight from Daytona, and we're going to be having the Daytona 2.4 Enduro. And tonight in the commentary box, I'd like to welcome Brenton O'Brien. How are you, Brenton?
Yeah, good, thanks, Bernie, and thanks for having me along. Yeah, Daytona 2.4 hours, similar to that was run in the Road Warriors series earlier this year, so there might be a few guys out there that have got a bit of experience already, but looking forward to a good race tonight.
Yeah, it should be quite an interesting race, and I'm just having a look at the moment. We'll bring up the track guide, and basically tonight's track's 11 turns. It takes in part of the NASCAR circuit, but also the infield, so it should prove to be pretty tricky for the drivers tonight.
Yeah, it is. The corners, one's a bit tight because you've just got that spilly on the oval, and you really pick up a bit of momentum. It's all of a sudden turn one's upon you, that sharp left, and yeah, it's got good flowing track, plenty of overtaking opportunity, so there won't be a problem there. Just keeping the things off the wall, that could be the challenge here, but expecting some close racing.
Yeah, definitely, and I was speaking to some of the guys earlier. One thing they're looking at is the toe down that back straight, so I think going through that chicane, that's going to be critical to keeping their top end speeds up down the back end, that's for sure. And if they can get a toe, I'm sure quite a few drivers are going to use it.
Oh, no doubt they will. 2.4 hours, it's going to be a bit of a race of attrition. You'd like to think that they're not going to get too eager in the first couple of laps. Probably expectations maybe 83, 84 laps from the quick mass I was just punching over then, but we've got plenty of entries here. With the teams racing concept, it's just added so much to it. It's fantastic what it's doing. Hopefully tonight the bug of when cars come in and do driver changes, and for some reason they're sustained, which hopefully no one has any dramas there tonight, and we have a good clean race throughout.
Yeah, definitely, and I was having a look at the field. We've got about 69 drivers out there tonight, so probably a pretty full field of over 30 cars, I'd say.
Well, being a team's race, you would hope that 69 becomes 70, and speaking from experience last week, I was the odd number out. I did 111 laps at Phillip Island by myself, happy with where I finished, but I was going to get disqualified, so whoever that odd person is, I hope they do get a teammate that's suitable for them tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine doing 111 laps around Phillip Island last week. That must have been you must have been exhausted after that.
I must admit that I didn't actually plan on doing 111 laps. I was waiting for my teammate to show up. I was just going to do the first stint, and I ran as long as I could, and he didn't show up, so I ran the second stint as long as I could, and he didn't show up. I thought, what the hell, I might as well finish from here. So it was good fun. It's a good event. Well run, obviously, through yourself and the team, but tonight's a different night, isn't it, with the amount of teams this event's just picking up. We've got probably got 37, 38, 39 teams here at the moment, so that's fantastic. Yeah,
it's really gaining from strength to strength, and I'm just having a look at the mix of cars we've got out there at the moment, and we've got the usual Roughs, BMWs, quite a few McLarens are in there tonight, which is great to see. But one thing, we have, looks like a Ford GT3, so I'm really eager to see how that goes tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they've got the bigger tank as well, if I recall, off the Asian GT3 series that we cover as well. But what have we got? We've got 5 minutes of qualifying to go, I think it is, and so far the 3C's Craft Beer Racing has got provisional pole car trip 3 in the BMW. Justin McEwen's your driver there, fastest lap of 141.25, 4/10 up on the Team TTL, and Direct Clutch Motorsports. We're getting used to all these team names here. 141.7. Your first team, Redback Racing, I'm imagining it's probably Warren Pickering. 142.2. SEK Queensland BMW, the 42.2 as well, and IndyCar Enthusiast with the 42.2. So you're the tight racing here, also tight qualifying, with positions 4 to 6 only covered by the less than 4/100ths of a second 10th place down to Kimmy Rural Fencing. Fantastic effort there by the boys. 1:42.9, so really close qualifying at the moment.
Yeah, I was just trying to bring our overlays up, but unfortunately it's not showing us the results at the moment. But yeah, it looks like very close qualifying out there.
Yeah, it is. As I said, we've got 35 teams have registered a time thus far, and we're running out of time. Just 4 minutes 10 to go. Lap time's in the 1:43, so if you're coming into the pits now, you will get time to knock up a couple of laps. As we can see, a couple of the McLarens now, Matt Stratford, Chris Dickinson coming out. As who we got here? There's Matthew Barron on the V8's online is just coming through as well. So she's a bit tight here. Mitchell McLeod also in the McLaren, the MP4, and the 4 Motorsports number 40. Try and say that quickly. And he's got himself 23rd at the moment. They'd be disappointed with that. The V8 Supercar Series champion. But, it's a long race.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm just having a look at the mix we've got up there. It looks like tonight it looks like it could be favouring the rough as far as qualifying goes. We've got 5 roughs in the top 10. Looks like the BMW's leading the way though, followed by a McLaren and a couple of other BMWs in the top 10 at the moment. So we'll have to keep an eye on and see how the roughs shape up.
Well, the question is how well do the roughs look up to their tyres in comparison with the BMW? I know from a series earlier this year there seemed to be a bit of discrepancy, but from my understanding the roughs tyres got off a little bit early, not considerably early it must be said, but yeah, there could be a distance because there's long runs, and with your setups obviously there's a massive difference between running 10, 15, 20 litres in your tank compared to 112, 115 litres in your tank. So setups are so vital here. Pitch strategy is important here. You should be able to do it in 2 stops. That's what we're thinking. There's going to be some guys who might not be able to make that.
Yeah, I had a word with some of the drivers earlier tonight, and the word out there, it is going to be a 2-stop race. They expect to probably turn around about 89 laps total distance and burn around about 250 litres of fuel. So yeah, it's definitely a long race. It's going to be, I think, more consistency over raw end speed at the end of the night, and Daytona does have a habit of pushing the drivers, especially with those fast sections going into that first corner.
Well, I think the big thing here with teams racing, and we've learned that last week and in other team racing events that have already happened, is in a politically correct world we can't say there's a number 1 and number 2 driver, but the fact is that there is one driver is generally faster than the other one. It's how well that number 2 driver does go. There's some teams out here, I was looking at times now, that are genuinely close with both drivers. However, there's some teams where it can be genuinely seen as the co-driver can be anything up to a second and a half, 2 seconds a lap slower. So that's the type of thing that's going to make a significant difference for this race.
Yeah, that's right. I know with the teams we've got in there, Redback Racing, the guys have worked very hard in trying to match each other up with not only the speed but also the driving style, so that they can come up with a setup that they both can drive consistently. And yeah, I know they've been working very hard in the last week just trying to sort all that out. So we've got a total of 35 seconds to go and till the end of qualifying, folks, so just have a look.
So most teams will be on their last lap. Might be able to get over the line with that time obviously to go, but just such a heavily congested track, isn't it? I've got the wide view on the blimp here, and there's cars everywhere, so that's the challenge here, is to try and get that lap where you can be in the clear, or even better, try and get yourself a good draft down the long back straight down to around the Daytona Oval. But to get a clear up as qualifying has come to an end, so some guys have just been able to cross the line. One of those is the Matthew Zimmerman, LM and Touring International, just crossed the line beforehand. How he's down in 16th. Paul Keegan, Net Virtue Racing, down 26, so they'll get another lap in, no doubt. But yeah, there's a lot of cars just coming up to the end, so I'm just keeping an eye here on the results as anything comes in. Yeah, look, a lot of times here from 4th all the way down to 12th, they're all in the 142, so racing's tight, no doubt. And then even from then, 13th through to, it just keeps on going. Wow, 13th through to 33rd, all in the 43s.
Yeah, that's incredibly close. It's I hope it bodes well for having an extremely close race. And I was absolutely amazed last week commentating the Phillip Island race, that throughout that whole race the top 5 were inseparable, and it made for some excellent racing, so I'm hoping to see that again tonight.
Yeah, and I'm fairly sure you will. The key is here to try and get out of that draft and get in the clear. So qualifying has come to an end. Congratulations to the 3Cs craft beer racing. As we said before, a 41.2 gives a pole position. TTL team in second, 41.6. Direct Clutch Motorsports car 114. Third with a 141.7. Your first team, Tom Jones. Actually, no, sorry. It's David Arnold. 142.238. Good time for him. V8's online. 42.2. SEK Queensland 42.2. IndyCar Enthusiasts 42.2. So between those 4 cars, 4 100ths of a second. Southwest Racing in 8th. 42.426, and then the new team, which is my new team, Evolution Racing Australia, with Tim Jackson and Jason Black, 42.427. So just the 1/1000s covers that. And rounding out the top 10 is a Rough Arrival Racing, 42.4 as well. Notable mentions: Blackadder 11th, KRF Tom Jones in 12th, ART Lazy Man Racing, or LMR, B&H Racing 15th, VPR Blancpain. Yeah, so significant field, 35 starters. Should be a great race.
Yeah, that's right, and I've just reset our overlay again. It's quite interesting. We have them drivers dropping in and out, but it's good to see that we've got a BMW in 1st and 3rd, followed by a couple of roughs. So I'm just trying to see where that Ford GT3, I think that, hang on a minute, that is in about 28th position, I think.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just having a look at where the Ford GT3 qualified. That came in 27th, so that's not too bad.
Is that the Net Virtue Racing car 3, is that right? I'm just trying to jump on and look them down now.
Yeah, David Swan. Okay, folks, so we'll just wait for them to queue up. They've got another 30 seconds to grid up, and then this is going to be a rolling start. So the pace car will take them in to the start-finish line, and then the leader will take control of the race from there. This is a part I always worry about as a driver, Brenton, is waiting to get started.
Yeah, it's just, I'm sure we'll be on the way shortly, but just, we did the Bathurst 1000 recently, an unbelievably good event hosted by OSR and V8 Online, and probably the first time I've been on the grid actually being nervous, so no doubt there's a few butterflies going with these guys as well. We've got Gary Hamilton starting on the pole next to Dylan Sharman in the McLaren MP4, so the second row, the 2 roughs with Brad Wooden and David Arnold, Matthew Barron and Pranaski. So there's a good mix of cars there. The top 3 grid positions are 3 different cars. So a good time to settle the nerves here. I'm behind the safety car. It's a long lap behind the safety car. Just check all your systems, etc. Make sure everything's working properly. Good communication with your team. Speak with your teammate. So yeah, it should be a fantastic race. Who's your pick?
Well, it's a heck of a long race, and they're so close. I'd hate to pick a favourite at this point in time. So I think I might sit on the fence.
No fence sitting here. Just give us a prediction. Come on.
Well, you know, I'm pretty biased, so I'd have to.
It's probably a safe bet, and as much as I'd love it for my boys, the Evolution Racing Australia, a new team put together. You know, this was their first competitive race together. Dylan Sharman's got a lot of things in his dance about from last week. He was a bit let down last week. I reckon he's going to fight back tonight. It's in Team TTL McLaren.
Yeah, they were a real contender last week until they had a bit of bad luck there and started dropping down the order, but they were always up there up until towards the end of the race anyway. So I think, is Dylan teaming with Matthew Hill again this week?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
So how come you're not out there tonight, Brenton?
I had full intentions to. I wasn't actually supposed to race last week originally, and then got bought out as a fill-in, and then the guy who I was filling in for, he wasn't able to make it due to a drama at home. So happy to commentate and join you here in the commentary box and talk about some great racing.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely happy to have you here, that's for sure, mate. It gets a bit lonely up here if you're doing it for 3 hours by yourself, so it's and I'm sure the viewers will be happy to have you here as well. That's for sure.
Just thank you for that. Exiting the bus stop amongst the oval part here, so not far away from race time now. Hopefully we'll get a nice clean start into turn 1. I think that's the part of the track where it's so easy to outbrake yourself there, and when you're in traffic, it'd be great to see some possibly conservative driving. The race can't be won on the first corner, we know that, but it can certainly be lost.
Yeah, especially this first corner. It's quite a tight left-hander coming off that embankment, and hopefully the drivers will show a bit of restraint.
Well, Gary Hamilton leading the way here, just setting the pace. Now the pace car's about to disappear. We're about to go racing.
Okay, so at this point, folks, Lewis Kugeley will take control and of the race and lead them up to the start-finish line. So here we go.
Well, set your watches, team. Daytona 2.4 SEK Queensland Championships is away. Good start here by Gary Hamilton as expected. Dylan deep under the brakes into turn 1. Holds the position, gets it done. Yep, Dylan Sharman through.
I heard a crash in the background back there, Brenton, but I think it was fairly deep in the field.
Yeah, just having a look backwards now. Can't see a lot of dramas. Matthew Barron, there we go. Actually, he was in a high position too. Matthew Barron looks like he's had some dramas there.
Looks like we've got Lewis into the fence as well. I'll try and grab a replay of that.
Up at the front though, just Dylan Sharman, just early days, just keeping the car straight. That's the key here. Keep the car straight. The last thing you want to be doing is sustaining some damage and dropping 20-30 k's an hour on a straight. It'll make the night a bit of a waste of time. So yeah, good start by all so far.
Yeah, I just had a look at the replay there, and it looks like Lewis got tagged coming into the hairpin. Unfortunately, he was flashing at the time, so I'd say the driver behind him didn't see him braking. So that's very unfortunate for Lewis.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ping. Pashitsky's ping's relatively high, but it's not that bad. So hopefully there won't be any more dramas. Back onto the oval part here. This is what we're talking about here with the tow. Dylan Sharman was coming in front. Gary Hamilton around the back. The 333 BMWs had that tow. Not sure he's going to get the job as they come up to the bus stop for the first time. Oh, not only has he got the job done, but Brad Wooden's going to be coming through as well. And that's right there, lap 1. That shows you exactly where the tight in here to the bus stop. Don't need to be doing anything silly. Sorry, turn 1. Sorry. Just shows you the significance of the tow, though. It's it's going to make an incredible job all night. Standing lap of a 150.6 for an opening lap. Our leader's Gary Hamilton.
Yeah, that toe's definitely going to play a big part down that back straight. I'm just trying to get my breath back here. But yeah, so we've got Gary Hamilton out front, followed by Brad Wooten. Is it Brad Wooten?
Don't know. Hang on 2 secs. You'd find that Dylan's in. It just hasn't reset yet. Gary's in front, followed by Dylan in the McLaren MP4. Then Brad Wood and David Arnold, the first of your guys. Guy Leach in 5th. Christian Brzezinski in 6th. Paul Fearley, Tim Jackson leading off for the Evolution Racing Australia Maverick BMW. Digham in 8th with the rough arrival, but about to be taken by Tom Jones in the KRF BMW, I believe.
Yeah, Tom's had a fantastic start tonight. It's really great to see the Kimi Rural Fencing rough up there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He's a real super talented driver, Tom, and there's big things in the future for him within iRacing, I can tell you now.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, this draft is just making such easy work for passing, and that's what we love to see. That's why this track's fantastic for this type of racing. Brad Wooden from 3rd, but Dylan really can go. He just seems to go that much deeper on the brakes in turn 1. But Brad's holding it together here, coming up to the S's. It's only lap 2, boys. And you got who else we got here? Guy Leach getting a bit feisty as well with Dave Arnold. So between the top 5, top 6, now top 7, top 8. All of them nose to tail here.
It's also great to see a good mix of BMWs and roughs and McLarens up there again battling, so that's really good to see.
Yeah, it is, but what this is doing with the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, just giving Gary that little bit of a buffer. I can't see that buffer lasting as soon as the boys hit the straight here. Coming out this long left, it just doesn't seem to end. Taking a tight load on the exit below the yellow line there, and just getting on the gas and getting out of there.
Yeah, that coming out of that corner back there, the drivers really have to be patient on getting on the throttle there, because if they hit it too hard too soon, they'll find themselves losing a lot of traction, if not spinning.
Well, the key is here as well. We've got to remember this. You know, with these cars, there's so much versatility with them in regards to your traction control and your fuel usage as well. You can change your mapping to whatever it comes to suit. So already the teams will be discussing, you know, where they're at. I would imagine right now the leading 3, 4, probably 5 cars are all going to be running engine map 1 and just getting on the gas and, you know, having a bit of a gap. But you know, those sitting behind them might be just comfortable sitting in the draft, saving that bit of fuel. Shorter pit stop at the end of the day, it can make all the difference.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think we'll see as the race progresses the different strategies starting to play out.
And a 43.5 was first go lap for Gary Hamilton there. 43.8 for Dylan, a 44.1. So there's a bit of a difference there. 43.9 for Guy, 44.6 for your boy Dave. Brzezinski, IndyCar enthusiast, so we call him IERT for the night, that's okay. 44.4, 43.8 for Paul Feely, and a 44 flat for Tim Jackson. And Tom Jones just out in his own there at the moment, just making gains with a 43.6, so super competitive then. Under lights, these cars look fantastic, it must be said.
Oh, they definitely do. I love this track at night time, and it just, I don't know what it is, it just makes these cars really shine under the lights.
Yeah, the problem in front of us, the Paul Keegan car, down in position 35. He's obviously had some dramas tonight. Qualified 27th. Yeah, his last lap at 2:54.4, so problems there, and already coming up to being lapped. So obviously some issues.
Yeah, we're just having a look at his car online. It doesn't look too badly damaged unless he's pitted and had a fast repair done to it, but yeah, he's definitely down in the order.
Yeah, it's a lap time that's consistent with pit stops. The big thing about the GT3s that I find is that tyres get done separately to fuel, which is separate to driver change, so pit stops just seem to take forever, so that seems like a time consistent with taking a pit stop. We've got Paul Feely and Tim Jackson still battling away for 7th and 8th. What that's doing is bringing Tom Jones up into this battle as well. So, 43s now for those combined. David Arnold, you'll be happy to know, 42.9, his fastest lap of the race. And super competitive is Brad Wooden, Direct Clutch Motorsports as well. Right with Dylan, who again has made some ground on Gary. So, the draft is such a significant thing. You've got to try and break that. Whether you break that by pitting early, perhaps, and putting in some hard laps and surviving the undercut, might put your tactics under a bit of threat from 2-stop.
Yeah, that's right. And with these new pit stop strategy rules that have come in, which you alluded to earlier, the tyres and the fuel separate and the driver swap separate, seems to be a little bit of confusion. I thought that the way it would work was they would fuel the car, do the tyres, and then you got an extra 20 seconds on top for the driver swap. But other guys are saying no, that's actually can be absorbed when the fuel's being put in the car.
My understanding is the tyres and fuel have to get done separately. I think, the driver change gets absorbed, I think, 24 seconds for a driver change. I think that does get absorbed in that, but it's, I think to fill these things up, and by the time you do that and driver change, we're talking 45 seconds for a pit stop, so, when I'm doing a lap in the 143s, 144s, 45 seconds is a fair chunk. You don't want to be stopping any more than you need to.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's what some of the drivers were saying when especially in the rough, they're going to be doing 100-litre stints, minimise that stop that they're sitting in the pits, but they did say they will be very long stops, so it'll be interesting to see if any of these cars take damage. We'll probably be seeing them trying to nurse their cars till they can make those stops.
Brad Wooden looking really racy, as we said before, up to second place through in that lap. In the draft here of Gary Hamilton, these boys are sitting in the low 43s. Top three just seem to be drawing away a bit here. Again, tactics is a big thing as to what engine mapping they're on to save a bit of fuel perhaps, but these three in clean air just doing a fantastic job. And actually I shouldn't be saying top three, top four now, they're probably the top five with Guy and Dave getting a good tow down there as well. And Guy got a fantastic exit out of the bus stop, going high on Dylan Sharman here.
So what we'll do, folks, is I'll put us into the cockpit with Matthew Hill and
Dylan Sharman, you mean?
Is it Dylan Sharman? Okay.
In the 911 Macca, yep. It's
Yep.
Dylan.
So, and we'll just enjoy a lap around Daytona so you can see what it is like.
Well, coming up through the S's here, so turn 2 and 3. Hard on the brakes here, just gliding around here. Just it's a long right, power on early. There's a bit of space on the left-hand side as we exit here, keeping it flat for this long, flowing left hand. Just here, we're just riding behind Gary Hamilton here, who's dropped down a spot, so Brad Wooden third. Hard on the brakes here, just taking the wide exit, fainting in a little bit. Just braking here, these little cones here, braking now, just back onto the left here. This is where we stay. Difference in line, you can see where Brad's gone wide and come in tight. Dylan's gone in tight, come out wide. Onto the back straight here around the famous Daytona Oval. And we could see from here how much of a difference the draft makes. We've got lap cars in front of us as well. There's a brick wall in front of Dylan here in regards to the draft, so he should make some gains. He's backing off here. You can hear with the engine. He's backed right off. He's let Guy through. So we can tell already that Dylan's playing the smart card. He's holding a good position here in 4th place. I don't think he's going to worry about that. He let off really early there, coming up to the bus stop, so he'll probably be saving fuel, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got Guy Leach in front of us now. We're doing 263, 264.5. We'll get up to 270 plus kilometres an hour down here. Coming across the strike at the end of lap 7, we've reached 275 k's. This is where Dylan's exceptional, should he need to be under brakes here. he's letting off really easy, really early. There's our lap car, a few up in front of us here. The 35th place, that BMW had some early issues, and we're on to lap 8, lap car on our right hand side. So there's a lap in the Team TTL car of Dylan Sharman, 4th place.
Yeah, he was definitely coasting it in there, wasn't he? So it'll be interesting to see what strategy they are on.
Well, as we can see, Alex Pohl was the one in the NCR sim racing, has had some drama as well in the car 015. Competitive last week, top 20 finish, I believe, so yeah, early disappointment for that team.
I'm just going to reset our overlays again, folks, because I'm not sure what it is, but we just seem to be just showing the wrong drivers in the cars.
I'm sure there's always teething problems at the end of the day. All the people out there watching have a fair idea who's where. We're trying to give them the best information we can. Yeah, but Gary Hamilton now back in the lead again. That's what the driving thing does. Brad Wooden down to second. Guy Leach doing a fantastic job here for Guy. He's teaming with George Fullerton tonight. George's qualifying time's a bit slower than Guy, it must be said. They didn't do any practice together. So that's going to be one of those combinations where George is hopefully going to be able to stick up. And again, there could be a change in the lead here. Wooden around the outside, across the stripe just in front. So another change in the lead and deep under brakes. It's good clean driving so far. Hamilton back through.
That's excellent driving, especially down through there too wide.
Well, what this is doing though, our lap times are in the 44s now by our leaders, 44.3s. So what that's doing in Dylan Sharman, 44.2. What that's doing is bringing Tim Jackson up in the 7th place in the Evolution Racing Australia vehicle, the ERA BMW. He's running that with Jason Blacktown. I know their times are very similar. Tom Jones is also coming up, but there's one thing that we can notice. Jones with a 45.1, if you don't mind. So he's dropped off. Paul Feely previously in 6th place at 45.9. So times are dropping off everywhere at the moment. So tyre wear, I would imagine, is taking a bit of a toll at the moment. And only on lap 9, it's still a long way to go on this stint.
Yeah, that's for sure. But one thing I will say is I think we'll be seeing Guy coming through as he's taking a look on the outside. I think we'll see Guy coming up to be challenging for the lead in the next probably 3 or 4 laps away he's going.
I've got a feeling that any of these guys at any time can take the lead if they want it. Gary's got his nose out in front there, we know that now, and Brad in second, but I think all of them are taking their turns to take up all the air and use their own fuel. Your boy David Arnold's done an excellent job there in 6th place at 43.9 last lap. He hasn't made any moves at all to get in front of Krishna Brzezinski in front of him. So yeah, there's genuine tactics going on at the moment. I reckon, and even Jackson now is made up with a 42.6 that last lap, if you don't mind. That is a great lap by Jackson, significantly quicker than the rest. Brzezinski just seemed to be lagging there a bit. That could be an issue.
Yeah, it just came up on our screens. Tim Jackson took the fastest time so far, so he's definitely pushing the car at this stage in the race.
Yeah, an excellent driver, Jacko as we call him. Very competitive in the PitTalkAsia.com Asian GT3 series, which is run on Saturday nights. Generally runs the BMW, and it's a very versatile driver, Jacko, must be said, with the BMW, and also very, very credited V8 supercar driver. Actually won a race at Watkins Glen last night, and his strength actually is in ovals, but he just seems to be getting away from the ovals at the moment, concentrating on the road racing. Just this week, the Evolution Racing Australia team, which formerly known as Demidov Motorsports, made a huge announcement in regards to some new sponsorship, in which with our friends at Maverick Welding and Demidov Innovations, we now have a direct link, and I say we because I'm in the team, we now have a direct link with Red Bull Racing Australia's V8 team, and it's just an awesome effort by Maverick Welding to get on board and sponsor a team in iRacing, and hopefully it's a sign of fantastic things to come. So tonight's actually a special night. It's the first time we've showcased the Maverick Welding logo on the BMW.
That's exciting news. I was wondering in the name change what was going on with your team, but to have direct links to Red Bull Racing and everything's very exciting for the online racing community, especially your team.
And it's awesome, and the thing is we've had copyright permission from Maverick Welding and Red Bull Racing Australia to use their logo, so there's no problems there. The logo you see running tonight for those watching the live stream, that is going to be updated over the next week. We're using custom images, concept design. Andrew Ossier does a fantastic job. If you need to have a look at the team, more than welcome to jump on Facebook and have a look at that. It looks awesome, and as time goes on, the BMW, the Rough and the Falcon, when it gets released, will be wearing the same colour. So yeah, really exciting times ahead for this team, and showing good pace tonight. Tim Jackson up to 6th place. Tom Jones getting a bit racy with Brzezinski as well. Battle for 7th and 8th. I just think that Brzezinski might be just backing off a bit here. His lap times have dropped off significantly. I don't think it's just tyres. We've got Paul Feely as well coming up. Paul going around the outside. They could be going 3 wide here. No, Tom's just tucking in. I think Tom's sitting back saving a bit of fuel. That spot was there to take. Cross strike here. Start lap 12. Just could get missing. Yeah, I think Brzezinski's struggling with those here.
For the folks tuning in on the broadcast, if you're noticing some of the drivers' paint schemes aren't showing up on this broadcast, that's because at the moment I'm manually having to set them up, but hopefully in the coming weeks that will be resolved once Trading Paints releases a team paints update.
Got to give a shout out here to Matthew Barron. Dropped down early, obviously, in first lap dramas. Back up to 16th place. Just about to take Hayden Donman in the 15th place in the 4 Motorsports McLaren.
Yeah, he's in the short shift livery, isn't he?
I don't have that available to me on this.
Yeah, he's driving the short shift BMW Z4, and I must say that's a really nice paint job. And we had Jay pop into the commentary booth last week to discuss with us about short shift and where it's going, and it's that's another very exciting development for the iRacing community in Australia.
Yeah, it is. That's amazing. Nethercott skin, and Matthew does a fantastic job on his skins, and he's been doing that for a while. Matthew's just taking a bit of a break from skinning at the moment, but no doubt when he gets back into it, his excellent work will continue. Tom Jones is now through that gap and away from Brzezinski and Feely, so interesting to see what kind of laps that Tom puts in here. David Arnold's he's dropped down a spot, unfortunately for you, mate. 44 flat last lap, down to 6, certainly nothing to sweat about. My man Jacko in my car, the ERA BMW, up into 5th now, just behind Dylan Sharman, so might be a bit of a time to push here just to create a gap. We're lap 13, Gary Hamilton's still our leader. He's we're only talking 0.3 of a second, 2 seconds back to the SEQ Queensland BMW team. Yeah,
so I guess being a two-stop race, they've got a long way to go till we can expect the first pit stops. If it's 90, probably around about lap 30, I guess we can see them coming in.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I must admit I haven't seen the Ford GT3 tonight, and I'm kind of looking for it. I'd love to know where it is. Like I said, I don't remember seeing one, so I'll be honest with you, I still can't find it. So I'm not sure we've got one on with us anymore. It would have been interesting to see how that went.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the sheets here. It looks like it didn't take to the grid. There was a number of cars tonight that appears not to have got a start, which was Jamie Peters. We've got Andrew Wallace, looks like he didn't get a start. David Swan and Pat O'Hara.
Yeah, and I know Jamie Peters with the KRF team were disappointed that he actually also, by coincidence, did 111 laps by himself last week. We were both thinking the same thing at the end of the race. I wish we knew about each other, but I would imagine that maybe tonight again he hasn't had much luck. I'm trying to think, Brett, hang on 2 seconds, I'm just looking for Jamie Peters. I know he didn't start, but I'm trying to think who his teammate was tonight.
I've got a list here. I'll just go through and see if I can find out who his teammate is.
I'll tell you who's doing a fantastic job in the meantime is Lance Hawes, a new member of the KRF team. Up to 22nd position, started at 22nd, must be fair. Hang on, sorry, no. Qualified in 33rd, if you don't mind. Thanks for coming. What an awesome job. Up into 22nd position. That's not on the back of other cars having some disappointment. That's on the back of some outstanding driving.
Yeah, so was it Geordie Peters you wanted to know who was teaming up with?
No, Jamie.
Jamie,
KRF boy.
Okay, I found Geordie. I'll keep on searching. Yeah, it looks like I don't have Jamie on my list at the moment. But for the viewers out there, what I am trying to do for future broadcasts is change these overlays so we can actually see who the driver pairings are. But I just haven't had a chance to set that up yet. But hopefully we'll get that live and working next week. Looks like Timothy Jackson just went around on entering onto the embankment there.
Hear that? Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up now.
Yeah, there's a bit of traffic there with Guy Leach in front, your boy behind.
Yeah, he's having a battle here with Dylan at the moment. He's looking on the inside.
No, it doesn't look like Tim's had anything dramas. I'm pretty sure you might be talking about, I think Guy Leach has had the issue.
Oh, sorry, it was Guy Leach. Yeah, it just looks
Jeez,
like...
you're going to give me a heart attack.
Sorry, mate. I'm still getting used to these cameras. But yeah, it just looks like Guy Leach got onto the gas as we were talking earlier, and he's just looped it.
Yeah, no damage done, apart from the pride, I guess, but that's going to really hurt his lap time there. Previous lap of 1:43.8. We'll find out what that's done to his lap time now. 1:58, so 15 seconds there. Yeah, that's in racing that is so tight and so competitive. It's hard to get that time back. It's taken him from 4th place down to 9th place. Up in front of him, Paul Feely, Tom Jones and Brzezinski continue their little battle. We're on lap 16 now. These guys aren't going anywhere. They've probably just dropped the 5 seconds off of the top 5 guys now. Time that can be made back, we know, with other drivers and a bit of consistency. But yeah, it's tightening up again, and Arnold and Jackson continue their battle for 3rd and 4th. Your man's back up to 3rd place, so again, that's a battle that's just going to be going on probably all night, I'd imagine.
Yeah, while you were talking, I just showed a replay. It looked like Timothy ran wide. coming into turn 1 there, which let David through. But yeah, I think these guys will be battling all night.
And you can tell their tyres have just settled back in now. Hamilton with the 43.5 out in lead. They just look so comfortable, don't they? Just the 1.1 second margin, I know, but I think congratulations going to be to Brad Wooden here and his teammate Christopher Osborne. Fantastic of there. Chris is not the slowest driver in the world. He'll probably be maybe 1.5 seconds off of Brad's time. Hasn't had as much time in the seat as Brad. Dylan Sharman and Matthew Hill. I think there's going to be a difference in time there. I really do. I think Matthew, as competent as a driver is, and there's no doubt he's a fantastic driver in the V8s, it must be said. I think Dylan prefers the GT3 class. A bit shaky on the exit there for Dylan. Jackson and Arnold again have swapped positions. So like I said, this is going to go on all night, and we know Dave Arnold, very competent racer, and let it be known actually, I'm not sure you knew this, Bernie, but Dave Arnold is a very, very good yachtsman as well. There's a lot of sailing back home in South Australia, so there's a bit of trivia for you. There's a lot of racing in the 470 class with his brother, and does a great job with the sailing as well. Tim Jackson's going to be racing with Jason Black, new to the Evolution Racing Australia team, and they put in a good fight as well.
Yeah, and further down the field, we're just having a look at the event organiser here, Gavin Sadler. He's up to, where is he now, 14th position, so it's good to see he's having a good run tonight.
Well, up to 13th place now, from what I can see on my screen. That might have changed, mind you. Started 24th on the grid in the Penske DeWalt BMW. His fastest lap time, his quality lap time, was a 43.6. That was done by his teammate Brett Gerard. So Brett's a good stick, we know that. But already Gavin Sadler in the race trim, he probably had a toe, it must be known, has also matched that with a 43.6. So Gavin's race pace is competitive and matching their quality pace. So that's exactly what the type of thing is that you'll need to be competitive and get up there by the end of the race. And just still keeping our eyes on Matthew Barron here. Really hurting bad. 2:05 opening lap, 1:46 second lap. Even though he's caught up in traffic, he's still knocking the door, although he's made a mistake the previous lap with a 1:53 on lap 15. So some issues there, but he's driving with Reece Gardner, and we know Reece is a very good driver as well with the GT3 class.
Yeah, we're just having a look at Matthew now. It looks like he's dropped probably 10 positions since the start, so definitely struggling there, but it'll be great to see Reece get into the car a bit later on tonight.
And Element Touring International, Phil Stoneman's in the car at the moment, started in 22nd, 19th position at the moment. Phil's going to be with Matthew Zimmer. We saw Matthew doing some late laps. Matthew's only done a couple of laps, so not a lot of practice for Matthew, it must be said. Phil with a 43.5 in quali trim and a 43.9 in race trim. Just doing what needs to be done. Up in the 19th place, sitting behind Leno Kell, who did a good job last week in the team behind Ruff. I hope I've pronounced that right. My French isn't that great. And sitting in front of Paul Nelson. And Paul Nelson's he's in All-Star Motorsports, where he is a star in this Ruff. So to see him down 20th must be said is a bit disappointing at the moment. Thinking that Lance has probably made a mistake somewhere. He's just down to 33rd again at the moment, dropped a few spots. Yeah, his lap 16, he's obviously had a bit of an issue there, no time registered, so yeah, he's obviously had an issue, but yeah, a long way to go in the KRF 27 Ruff, so long as I think staying on the lead lap is fairly important here. I know there's no safety car. He's got company behind him in Matthew Digham in the Ruff Rival Racing Car 05, and Jay Kennedy, our host of ASR. Oh, sounds like there might be an issue with Tom Jones. Jay Kennedy's obviously backed into something. There's a fair bit of damage to his back wing, so have to think that it might be affecting his top line speed down the straight. It might be one of those ones where you have to consider taking an early pit stop to get that fixed. I just want to jump on board with Tom Jones and see if there's been an issue there. Yeah, Paul's backdoored it here, and I would say that Tom's might have given him a tap. We'll just have a look at that. Yeah, no, I can't see anything but by saying that everybody seemed to have disappeared for a while. But the car 72 BMW of Tom is steady job, 44.4 last lap, 7th position now. Not a lot of pressure from behind, so this could be a stage of the race here with a thinking of saving the fuel. I think the race is really with your boy and my boy here in 4th and 5th with Jackson and Arnold.
Yeah, I hope they don't get too close.
By saying that though, Hamilton with a 43.5 last lap, Wooten with a 43.1 last lap up the front is every bit as close as those two.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll just take you through the top 5, folks, and we'll get a bit of a race update. And oh dear, I'm trying to get this. Okay, so out in front we've got Gary Hamilton at the moment. And I'm just trying to get the. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So I've got Gary Hamilton taking the lead at the moment. He's got about a 0.7 gap back to Brad Wooten in the rough. Dylan Sharman's doing great, running third in the McLaren at the moment, some 5.4 seconds down the track, and about another 3 seconds behind him is David Arnold, followed by your man Timothy Jackson. And yeah, they're definitely having a good race out there at the moment, Brenton.
Yeah, well, the top 5 seem to have stretched their legs to Tom Jones in the KRF. We're talking over 6 seconds now. It's tight for 6th and 7th, as we know, and then back again, another gap back to the Southwest Racing, and all the way through. If we can go down to 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Hang on, did I see a bit of an issue there? No. 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Real close racing here. Well, Stoneman's actually just got past O'Kel, but Nelson and Hanson in the car 2, B&H Racing, McLaren, so just dropped out for a while. Yeah, those boys are all neck to tail. Just Hanson just seems to have a bit of an issue with his ping at the moment. He's just constantly dropping out on my screen anyway. Really surprised with the race pace of Paul Nelson here. He does great things generally in the rough, but just does seem to be struggling here, unless, of course, it could be some conserving some fuel. We've got to take into account the mapping, but that'd be really disconcerting having a car like, yeah, going through now. Like Hanson next to you and just in front of him, and they just keep disappearing. That, yeah, that shakes the bones a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. It's he's definitely got some sort of speed issue going on out there, but it does look to me like he is running a different fuel mapping, but I can't really see that being much of a benefit considering this is going to be a 2-stop race. I can't see him doing this in 1 stop, that's for sure.
No, there is the slightest of slight benefits in that you're going to put less fuel in the car, probably the last stop. You know, you can go an extra lap here, you can go an extra lap in the second stint, and you feel shorter in the last stint, but it's not that much a difference. You'd rather just suck it up and take that extra half a second or 1 second per lap of fuel. We've got David Kingston in the pits in the LMR Racing, the 2 car. Darren Morris is out, David Hingston is in the car, so a solid effort by Morris. It's up to coming out on lap 20 now. It looked like a scheduled stop down to 33rd place at the moment. We have Simon Black in the OSR1 GT3 Enduro car as well. We've got Michael Yao who stepped out of that car, and Simon Black is stepping in, so I think the first of our stops is on I'm surprised they've actually stopped this early, must be said. I would have thought maybe another 2 or 3 laps they would have got out of it.
Yeah, well, they've been running now for just over 30 minutes, so yeah, it's pretty early for a stop, but maybe they're doing a reverse pit strategy.
Yeah, but what that's done, it's put him back amongst traffic now, and with blue flags waving, they're going to have to give way. It's a tricky pit exit here. It seems like it's nice and flowing, but that brick wall, the concrete wall, just seems coming. Now Black's coming out in some heavy traffic here, so already any advantage that he would have got of using the new tyres and getting the undercut, it's already going to be thrown away. He's got Paul Nelson in front, got Leno Curl in front of him. He probably might get the chance to make a move, but he's not going to want to sit behind these guys for too much longer with his new tyres on. Never said much about Trevor Foster either in the VPR 666 BMW up into 9th place. Started in 16th place, so solid first stint by him, it has to be said. Fastest lap of 43.51 on lap 6. Just putting in some good hard solid laps, keeping the car clean. Bit of a gap in front of him, must be said, of 8 seconds up to the Southwest Racing rough of Paul Feely. But these are the races, these enduros, where the guys who are probably normally off the pace on the single lap or even the short sprint race really just love this enduro format where they can just knuckle down and just get the job done, just punching out consistent laps, staying out of trouble, passing of their teammate and hoping they do the same.
Yeah, well, he's definitely on the improve, because he's up 7 positions at the moment in the top 10. So, as you said, a very good first stint by Trevor. And I must say, I much prefer the enduro format to the sprint format, because I'm not one of the faster drivers, but I try to go for the consistency. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of drivers out there tonight that are doing the same thing.
Well, that's what watching within iRacing is the teams racing, is that just having board with Jay Kennedy at the moment in 26th place in the car 40. Yeah, look, that damage he sustained early is really affecting his straight line speed, it has to be said. Simon Eriksson in the second of your cars, the Redback Racing GT3 Team B, putting in a strong performance, it must be said. Simon's racing with Michael Manley tonight. I know Michael does a great job in the V8 supercar, so they're promising things to come there. Where did they start on the grid? 31st on the grid, 26. Yeah, they'd probably be happy with that. Car 13, lucky for some. Keeping the car clean, has to be said. So still a long way to go.
Yeah, and I know Simon and Michael had a bit of a bad run last weekend at Phillip Island, so they're definitely looking at trying to get a better result this week, that's for sure.
Yeah, and as we were saying with Simon back down to 31st, he's already had a pit stop just behind Paul Nelson. He's a lap behind. Paul Nelson's just run a 45.4. It's got to be considered off the pace. Simon with the new tyres did a 43.7 in qualifying. Don't have his practice speed with me. 45.8 is their quickest time by Michael Yao on lap 15. So this car's got to unleash a bit of pace yet. Simon's a good handler. I think he prefers the enduros as well, has to be said. So yeah, still a bit of a chance there to make up a few spots, but whilst they're stuck behind these faster guys, just wasting your tyres away. And we've got Matthew Barron in the pits after his first lap dramas. So he's staying in the car, is he? It's just a long stop. Ericsson goes through, Kennedy goes through, car stationary from 14th on the grid, 14th before he came in, and Barron stays in the car.
So just having a look at Krezimir Presnicki. I don't know how to pronounce that. He's what was that?
Yeah, no, I think Krzyzewski or something like that. I would imagine you're pretty close there with your Polish, or Czechoslovakian, Yugoslavian, whatever you are. How about we say mid European? I mean, teaming with Nico Brandt. Nico did some great things last week at Phillip Island, it must be said. Running strongly in the IndyCar Enthusiast racing team. There's a mouthful again. I think they'd probably be a little bit disappointed at the moment. Started 7th and us the remaining 7th. Perhaps with connection issues it might have slowed down a bit, or again it could be fuel savings. We've got Tom Jones in front of him in 6th. I'm trying to think. I have a feeling, Tom Jones is racing with Brett Spicer tonight, and we know that Brett's he doesn't do as much iRacing as what he would probably like. He's had some health dramas within his family as well, which has taken him away from the wheel for a long time. So hopefully Brett also, as he's known, will get up to speed with Tom, who's done an outstanding job in his first stint.
Yeah, and there's one driver I'm really looking forward to tonight, Brenton, is the man teaming up with Duncan Smith tonight in the 3rd Redback Racing Rough is our own Paul Gorrell, who's normally in the V8 supercars, and he's decided he's going to try his hand at GT3 racing tonight.
Yeah, Paul's an absolute jet at the moment in the V8s. He's loving the new Holden and extremely competitive, and looking forward to seeing him as well. In the GT3 class. 44.1 was Paul's best time in qualifying, probably off the pace compared to, but the GT3 is just a different beast to the V8 that Paul drives so well. As we said though, with the new Commodore being released, it's certainly a lot closer to a GT3 than the old Ford Falcon, but there's just a subtle difference in the exit of a corner compared to the V8s. Yeah,
that's right, and the gear changing isn't. You've got to be more timed in the GT3 compared to the V8. But I must say, I really think the new Holden Commodore is a fantastic car and an excellent step up for the V8 guys, and I can't wait to hopefully the next build when the new Ford comes and joins in the racing.
Yeah, well, that's only a few weeks down the track as well. And, this is the series that we're talking here. The GT3 next year with the release of the Aston Martin. Yeah, that's significant steps in this class. It's quite incredible what they're making available here, and who's to say in the next 12 months the Ferrari GT3 doesn't get released as well. I've got to say, I think the Ford GT3 has been a bit of a disappointment. It hasn't been as competitive as what many would have hoped. It's still 1.5, 2 seconds a lap down. Yeah, it's got a bit more conservative on the fuel off relief, but people aren't running that because it is slower.
Yeah, well, that's right. I took the 4 cars for a spin after the last update they released with the Ford GT3. It has improved a lot, but I think they've still just got to do a bit more balancing of that car to bring it into parity with the others. But as you said, with Aston Martin coming on board, I think for road racing, the GT3 guys are extremely lucky to have such a great variety of cars. And it goes to show, what a great job iRacing does with these different classes of cars.
Yeah, they do an awesome job. And to be congratulated for what they do. Yeah, they cop a bit of stick, and there's some disappointment in teams racing with a glitch in regards to driver swaps and damage being sustained to the cars during driver swaps. But overall, it's a fantastic job as to what they're putting out there. Yeah,
that's right. And quite honestly, after they brought out the driver swaps, I was a bit lost to think what was going to be next. But after reading, iRacing put out a post the other day. Did you see that from, I think it was David Gardner? Is it David Gardner?
Tony Gardner, I think it was.
Tony Gardner, yeah.
There's, I think he got a bit of flak for that. Had probably a bit too much.
Yeah, well, the things he was talking about, rubbering of the track and different driving lines coming and going and all that, I was floored, so.
But it's the progression of the team that work by racing that to be congratulated on what they can do, and there's quite a bit of smoke. Oh, we got here, I think that's Jay Kennedy in the Macca has spun again, so he's not having much fun tonight. Jay's got a really competent teammate, it has to be said, in Mitch McLeod, but he's leaving Mitch a lot of work to do tonight.
Yeah, we're just having a look at the replay now. I don't think we've gone far enough back to catch it though, but we'll stick with it for a moment and see if we can catch what happened to Jay. Yeah, he's just lost it coming into turn 2, so he's definitely struggling with that rear end at the moment.
Just as a question for some of our viewers, their skins aren't coming through on the live feed. Well, actually, there's a couple of the short shift one has, and Gav's has, but the other ones haven't come through, so I'm just wondering what's happening there, do you know?
Yeah, basically, at the moment with Team Racing, I've got to download all the all the driver skins manually and install them on the computer for them to show up in the broadcast. So obviously I'm probably missing a few of the skins at the moment, which hopefully this will be resolved once Trading Paints catches up with the team paint update.
Righto, no worries. People are asking, so yep, that covers that answer.
That's fine, yeah. No, it's a manual process unfortunately at the moment, but we're doing the best we can to get the latest paint schemes. But as you can imagine, over 30 cars, it's a bit hard to do it manually all the time, but we'll get there.
Yeah, little steps. Got Paul Mansell in the number 5 BMW MF Tech 2, and Hayden Dodman in the 4 Motorsports 41. I'm surprised Hayden's not running with Mitch McLeod tonight, being the same team as each other in the V8 supercars, but both doing a good job tonight. Hayden's just come through, so he's gained a spot there. Paul, we've also got Daniel Lee in the Mad Cow Racing just behind them, albeit a lap down, so he's taken that pit stop early. And that's the difference here in tactics, isn't it? Those cars were pitting early, then they'll come through with their better tyres. We've got Beck coming out of the pits now in the 34 BMW. Kel just loose there. Simon Black still stuck behind Nelson and O'Kel, so by the time these boys in front of him pit, Simon's tyre wear will be pretty much shot. He hasn't been able to work at all with the new tyres that's coming out of their traffic.
Yeah, and I was speaking with one of the members of the SEK Queensland karting club. The reason I'm mentioning this is they were giving me some news, and since they sponsor this event, I thought I'd share it with the viewers that they're the Southeastern Karting Endurance Club in Queensland, and they've just got CAMS affiliation, which is great news for them. So if there's any viewers out there interested in checking them out, go to SEKQLD.com.
Well, that's fantastic to be affiliated with CAMS. From what I understand, through Blake Coppo, who races karts competitively in the Mackay, Queensland area, there's I don't know much about it, but there's significant changes coming within the go-karting fraternity in regards to classes and engine sizes and things like that. I think 2016 there's a lot of changes, so no doubt SEK will keep you up to date with all those developments as well for those who are interested in go-karting.
Yeah, well, it's something I did, 20 years ago or something. But one thing I've always wanted to try is endurance racing in the go-karts. I reckon it'd be an absolute blast.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. Yeah, it's fairly popular up here. I know there's a big event in Gympie not so long ago. There's a lot of entrants in that. Certainly must be pit stop time now. We've got Jackson just exiting the pit, so he's double stinting tonight. And after that, Jason Black will bring that home. So a fantastic stint by Jackson, it has to be said, opening that up. So he's come out in his new tyres. Spicer has taken over the wheel from Tom Jones in the 72 BMW. Paul Feely, no, don't think he has. George Fullerton is there. We go, talking about SEK Queensland Racing. Oh, there might be a penalty coming for George. He's definitely crossed that white line on pit exit. I hope that doesn't bite him, but my understanding is he crossed that white line, you might have a problem. So hopefully he won't on that pit exit. Shane McMahon coming out now in the MF Tech, taking over from Paul Mansell. So these are all previously top 10 cars and making their pit stop. Paul Gorriel, we've missed that, is in the in your car now, taken over from Duncan. So our interest is with him in the car number 23, Redback Racing Rough, just in front of Ian McMahon in the MF Tech National Guard car there at the moment. The skins being shown. So Gorriel just taking it easy early doors. It's, what are we? We're about 1 hour, almost coming up 1 hour into the race, I understand. So still a long way to go.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Paul now. It looks like they've probably dropped a lap at this stage, but still, it'll be interesting to see how they go to the end of the race tonight.
Yeah, they will drop the lap. The lead cars haven't come in yet though, so they'll pick lap back up. Christopher Osborne's taken over from Brad Wooten in the car. 114 direct clutch rough. So a bit of pressure on Chris here. Brad Wooten did a fantastic job, including a flying lap of a 43 flat. Brad's pace did drop off, it must be said, with 44s, even a 45 in his last stint there. So with the new tyres on, it's going to make a big difference. We've actually got, if I do believe, just trying to pick up the leader here.
Yeah, it looks like Brad Wooten's our leader.
We do. We have your man Warren Pickering was in the lead there. So Dave Arnold did a fantastic job and drained as much as he could out of that car. Got to lap 30. So that's a great performance by Dave. Consistent laps in 43s. Well, a lot of 44s are on 44, 45. But a great performance by Dave Arnold, must be said. Yeah, Warren's an accomplished GT3 driver. He lives off him. Be interested to see Mitchell McLeod's pace as well in the 4 Motorsports car 40. Jay's out of the car. Jay's got rid of all the damage. They've had their free toe, so McLeod comes up in a sparkling new McLaren. Fantastic to get one of those new every day. Spices, whoa! Damn. That was a great opening stint by Tom Jones, and I called it earlier that Brett hasn't had the amount of time in the car as what he'd wanted. Brett looks like he's only really done the one out fast lap, so massive disappointing there for the KRF racing team. That's a bit shattering for him, because Tom did a fantastic job. And this is the thing about teams racing. It's right now, I guarantee you, Brett's feeling awfully sick in the guts about what's just happened there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the replay at the moment.
Yeah, we've actually got both the KRF cars, the only 2 cars in the pit lane at the moment. Mark Noble into the car, Lance Hawes is out. Don't know if there's been any problems or whether this is a scheduled stop. They seem to be there for a while. Keegan into the car, I think it's a scheduled stop. Fuel's been in, changing tyres now on the 27 KRF Rough.
Just having a look at Brett Spicer at the moment in the replay to see just what happened.
Nelson into the pits as well, and he'll be jumping out, replaced by Jake Maloney. And Jake's time is significantly down on Nelson's time, so I can't see them pushing much forward there. But hopefully with a good stint, anything could happen. Noble exits the pits.
Yeah, I just had a look at the replay for Brett Spicer. It looked like he had some sort of netcode issue coming in to the fast chicane. He blinked out, and then when he blinked back in again, he was in the fence. So it might not have been a driver error.
Yeah, well, I hope for his sake it wasn't. Champion young fella, young Brett. He's got some bigger issues at home that he's got to worry about apart from this. But Nico Brandt has now taken over in the 785 rough. Great first in, brought the car in the lead by the time he's finished. Not sure how he's going to go here for position. Manley is already through. Jackson, deep under brakes, goes through as well. But I think overall that would be a gain for Brandt. Matthew Hill, Brett Spice is back out, which is great to see. Matthew Hill's taken over from Dylan Sharman at the McLaren. I'm just trying to chase our leader, Osborne. He's fantastic. I'm just wondering if we've lost someone here. We have lost someone here. The 333, our leader, I'm trying to chase where he is at the moment. Yeah. Down in 16th, so something has significantly happened there. I'm sorry to all that are watching, but we've missed that. I'm trying to find McEwen. Has he made a mistake on pit exit? There's certainly something that's gone astray there. Definitely something's gone wrong, and that car's now well off the pace. He's dropped him. He's down in 15th. He's now a minute 13 off the lead. I think that's going to change. Actually, that will change with the recent pit stop of the 114. But yeah, that's a big hit, and only just behind Paul Gorell now, and just in front of Braith Morrow in the Blackadder motorsports vehicle, and under pressure as well is McKeown. So yeah, some dramas here.
Yeah, so taking you through the top 5, folks, we've got Christopher Osborne at the moment in the lead. In his rough, followed 12 seconds down the track by Matthew Hill, up in second position. And then right behind him we have Timothy Jackson, who's looking at... I thought he was going to go for a move then, he just wasn't quite close enough. Right behind them in the Redback Racing rough is Warren Pickering, and then rounding out our top 5, some 17 seconds down the road, is Paul Freely in his rough.
Yeah, and we see a problem with as Jackson goes through, a problem with the 45 BMW TTE Sports Racing Team. Bradley Matheson that in front of the cars, bit of a mess there. Michael Ford did the it's unusual, they did the first 4 or 5 laps early pit stop, and Bradley's been running solid since. I'm not sure whether Ford's had some connection issues over the night, but we're probably holding up Pickering here a bit, it must be said. Pickering's right with Nico Brandt now. I'm just thinking something's happened to Brandt as well. So he's gone from right behind Jackson in 4th place to down in 27th place, so it would be good to chase that up, see what's happened there.
Yeah, I'll see if we can catch a replay. I'm having trouble, folks, trying to keep up with all the action at the moment, but we'll do our best.
We're just looking with Brandt. He's had no time registered after his pit stop, so some serious problems there to be dropped down there. So yeah, we're talking 2 of our original first 5 cars already have had some issues.
Yeah, just
and a big shout to Matthew Barrett. You know what happened to him first lap, down into last place and up into 6th place now. So that's an awesome comeback job in front of our host Gavin Sadler in the 71 Skid DeWalt BMW. So that's a great drive by Sadler, double stinting as well. I reckon if you offered him 7th place at the start, from 24th on the grid, I reckon he would take that any day of the week. So a great first up effort here. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, we've just got, having a look at the time now, just over an hour and 26 minutes left to this race. So, as you said, Brenton, still a long way to go, mate.
Yeah, Michael Ford's taken back over the car 45 down to 34th, second to last, unfortunately for him. They've had some dramas tonight, we know that. They've only got the 1 car behind them, and that's already left us, the NCR Sim Racing car. Ford's had to stop again, so whatever the problem was, it hasn't been fixed, I don't think, or he's just stopping there, maybe waiting for traffic. But obviously there's a major issue with that car, and I would dare say that she's done for the day.
Yeah, and we're just having a look at Matthew Hill now. He's challenging Timothy Jackson at the moment for second position.
Well, what's actually happened there is that Jackson has passed Matthew Hill, and Jackson came out behind him, so Jackson's made a move here in the Evolution Racing Australia vehicle, and a superb effort, must be said. And, his teammate Jason Black's no slouch, as Hill goes back through Jackson as well here, but these guys are racing pretty hard. What this is doing though is just letting our lead and just eke out this lead. It's up to over 14 seconds now, but the oh, tell you what, super deep under brakes there by Brett Spicer. I'm not sure Jackson would have been too happy with that.
Yeah, and as this race goes on, traffic's going to play a bigger factor, isn't it? As they catch the guys' laps down.
We've got a great little left picture here for you, mate. You've got your two Redback Racing roughs running front toe here, mate. Got Manly a bit down in 26th place, had some issues, it has to be said. They'll probably be disappointed tonight, I reckon, with that. And Pickering up into 4th place, which is a fantastic effort. Qualified in 4th, but dropped back early, it must be said. Stayed out of trouble, and now it's their time to push through. Barron's made up another place now, up at the 5th, so he's a man really on the charge of V8's online motorsport.
Yeah, he's definitely on a charge, and I'm just having a look at their short shift livery. I really like that livery, I must say.
Yeah, Matthew does a fantastic job, and has done a great job for sorry, background noise. Has done a great job with other cars as well, but Stuart Hall's got a problem here, and that BMW is a mess. Down at 31st, slowly around here, and that car's toast.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Paul Gorrell at the moment. He all of a sudden dropped a number of places, so I'm not sure if something occurred to him. No, it looks like he's had a net code issue, but he is still circulating, so...
I'll be back shortly.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay, folks, so while we're having a bit of a lull in the action, I'll just like to thank our sponsors for backing this series. I'd like to thank Race Centre. If you're in Sydney or Brisbane and you want to give simulator racing a go, definitely drop into the Race Centre. They run competitions in their full motion cockpits, and it's a heap of fun, so drop in and say g'day. Also like to thank Pit Stop Model Cars. So for all of you out there that collect model cars, go to Pit Stop Model Cars on the internet and check them out. They've got some great models there. For all you guys out there, I'd like to thank Shave for Less, where we can get all our razors at very cheap prices. If you want to check them out, go to shaveforless.com.au. And finally, I'd like to thank the league that puts this on, iRace for Fun. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here tonight commentating, and all these guys out there wouldn't be having some great fun racing. And of course, our main sponsor is SEK Queensland, the South East Queensland Enduro Karting Club. If you're into kart racing and you're in the Queensland area, definitely check them out. As I said earlier, they've just received their Cairns affiliation, so you can expect big things from them in the coming years. So I'll just take you through our top 10 at the moment. We've got Christopher in his McLaren. Timothy Jackson in a BMW. 4th is Warren Pickering in his Rough. 5th is Matthew Barron in BMW. 6th, Paul Freely. 7th, Gavin Sadler. Fantastic run from him. 8th is George Fullerton. 9th is Martin Davis. And 10th is Colin Schwenk. 11th, we've got Paul Gorrell in the Rough. 12th, Brace Matthew. 13th, Len O'Cal. Kurt Bond comes in 14th at the moment in his McLaren. 15th is Shane McMahon. 16th, another McLaren with Daniel Benefield. Matthew Zimmerman. 18th is Rich Brookfield. Daniel Leet, 19th. Matt Stratford's running in 20th. '21st and 1 lap down is Luke Beck. Then Brant Tucker in his BMW. Michael Manley is running 23rd at the moment, followed by Brett Spicer, Nico Brandt. Mitchell McLeod is 26th. 27th is Jake Maloney. 28th, Simon Black in his BMW. Then David Hingston, 29th. Ian McMahon is 30th. And then Stuart Hall, and rounding out our last of the runners is Mark Noble in his Rough. So the retirements at the moment, we've had Alex Pole retire, Jamie Peters, Andrew Wallace, David Swan and Pat O'Hara. So as we come back live to the pictures, folks, we're having a look at Matthew Hill at the moment in his TTL McLaren, having a fantastic run tonight, it must be said. They're some 16 seconds down from the leader. As he's looking at traffic, but right behind him as usual is Timothy Jackson again. These guys have been inseparable for just about the whole race, and we've been treated to some good racing between these two as they jostle for second position. It's good to see the lapped drivers doing the right thing and getting out of the way when they can. And again, like last week, there's been a lot of respect being shown between all the drivers tonight, which just adds to the great racing we're treated to.
Sorry mate, back again.
That's alright.
Had to put the kids in bed.
No worries. I was just taking the viewers through our positions. I took them through the whole field, the DNFs, and to give them a bit of an update.
Well, we're at that halfway stage, so it's a fantastic time to do it. And I was wondering, gee, they've done a good job tonight, it has to be said. There's some serious cars out there and some serious competition. And what are they out to? Yeah, we're out to 16 seconds. Yeah, that's a refuel right there, or actually say at the very least a tyre change right there. What's their lap times? What are they pushing at here? Garell's just gone lap down. He's struggled, it must be said. 44 flat for Osborne there, but I think he's punched out some quicker laps than that. Yeah, 43.1 last lap. That's actually his slowest lap in traffic, it has to be said.
Yeah, well, Christopher was definitely showing the pace last week, so he's just, I think he's got that momentum going tonight. But it's, as you said, it's an impressive lead. He's now stretched it out to 17 seconds.
Yeah, they're not mucking around, and Hill and Jackson still going at it for second and third. This is where the battle is, and yeah, the team TTL, such a strong, deep team as well. They there's no weakness amongst them, and Jackson pushing hard here in the Evolution Racing Australia era, we'll call it, for the rest of the night. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and it's a shame we can't see that new skin tonight because it is awesome. Hopefully we'll get that repaired next week. I'll be a personal request, so make sure you got that done next week.
Yeah,
Pickering in 4th place, 44.9 last lap. Probably just a little off the pace, as we said, but probably didn't get the benefit of any draft last lap. Nico Brandt down in 21st, 23rd for Brett Spicer. Mitchell McLeod, interested here what his lap times are. And Jay Kennedy still got a faster lap than him. 45 is he's running at the moment for McLeod. Yeah, he really, his preference is V8s, and he's very, very good at them too, it has to be said. Feely running 5th, double stinting here. He'll be sharing with Rod Pinder. I think Rod, his egos fairly well too. So 2 guys who are pretty quick. But this is where my star of the race is so far after his first lap. Instant Matthew Barron up into 6th, and I think he's just about to take 5th right now. V8's online motorsport car around the side of Feely. Not going to say it's the hardest move in the world once you've got out of that draft and through. Yeah, quite comfortable from Barron there. So now in 5th place, Matthew Barron. He was down in last after his first lap incident. Pitted on lap 24, so an early stop, it has to be said. Whether that comes back and bites them later on in the race, we don't know. Hopefully it won't for their sake. Haven't spoken about Brant Tucker either in the All Sports Motorsports SEK BMW. Chris Johnson did a good first stint there. Started last, 35th position. There you go, up in a 25th position now in the car, 153. So it's a good job. Picking up pieces, it might be, yes, but still getting the job done. And there's a few cars just.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they're picking up pieces, but consistency is definitely showing through. You know, they're plugging away, they're getting positions, so it'll be interesting to see how far up the field they can get by the end of the race.
Well, that's what it's about, though, isn't it? It's all it's about, and they're up to 25th. Their teammates in the All-Star Motorsports Rough, Maloney Nelson down 27th, and Maloney struggling. He's just another 11 seconds at 157.4. So obviously a mistake, and looking closely at that rough now, there's a little bit of damage on the side there. So I'd say he's connected with something at some stage in the last lap or two. So there's some great performances, it must be said. There's some disappointing performances too, but probably none of them are more disappointing than the ones driving the car. But great battle here still for 2nd and 3rd with Matty Hill and for Jacko Jackson. Solid drives here by both of them.
Yeah, definitely. I reckon Matthew Hill's probably wishing that he could get a bit of a break over Tim, but I don't see that happening at this stage.
No, Jacko's not going to just let him go, but the problem here is, and I know that Jason Black won't mind me saying, I don't think there's any expectation for Jason to be as fast as Dylan Sharman once these guys change back over. So I reckon that if they're going to make a competitive move, Jacko needs to get through and stretch away.
Yeah, definitely.
And as we say, that Jackson goes through. So just into the bus stop there, Jackson now up to 2nd place. Not a lot of fight, has to be said, by Hill there, but there doesn't need to be at this stage, and I think you'll find if Hill just stays there in the draft of Jackson until the next stop, we're talking another 17, 18 laps here, pitted on lap 30 on the spot. We're up lap 43 now. So Hill doesn't really need to do much, just sit there. Yeah,
that's right. There's no need, folks, if I'm just having a few internet connection issues here at the moment, so if you see the broadcast dropping in and out, I promise you I'm working on it. It's probably my daughter streaming videos in a bedroom or something.
Unfortunately for our 3C's Craft Beer Racing team, their pole position, I'm pretty sure their race is done. Down to 2nd last now, 6 laps down, sitting in the pits. There's no one in the car. I'm pretty convinced that those guys are out.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think each driver only has one fast repair, so I'd say they've definitely used that up and could be game over.
Which is a shame, because looking so strong in the early laps. with pretty much the entire first stint. Looking extremely strong. Held a smart little lead there for a while, but that lead now is certainly owned by the car of Osborne and Wootton, Direct Clutch Motorsports car. They're out to 18 seconds over the EVA car of Jack Black. So that lead is stretching and stretching. It's a bit snaky coming into turn 1 though. So Osborne just holding it together, a bit of lap traffic in front, and that's the thing, anything could happen at any time in endurance racing.
Well, that's exactly right, and a lead like that can be lost very quickly, even in the traffic he's in, if they don't do the right thing, which I'm expecting they will step aside and let Christopher through any moment.
Well, this is the push I'm talking about. Jackson's now just put in a 43.5. That's a quick lap, it must be said, not for this stage of his tyres. Hill a 44.1, so maybe this is the push from Jackson that needs to happen. I reckon they need a good 8 to 10 seconds minimum for Black to come in and Sharman to come in there. It's no disrespect to Black. I think Sharman would beat 68 out of 69 drivers in this field tonight.
Yeah, well, I know if I was driving, I'd probably need a lap difference over Mr. Sharman if I was going to stand a chance against that man.
Yeah, you and me both, but Jason Black's got some serious ability. Really, really handy introduction to the team as well. He stepped into the team this week. Both him and his wife, Kirsty, have stepped into the new ERA car. So Jason very, very handy with his technical input with setups formerly of Laserman Racing LMR. He's happily jumped ship and come on board with us, and it's fantastic to have him.
So how's Kirsty going? Is she still in the V8s?
Yeah, Kirsty runs in the V8s, and I'm not sure if you remember, but she had a fantastic win in the V8s at Oran Park probably 2 or 3 seasons ago, and they had a bit of a spell for a while. You didn't see either for a while, but with the new team and all the enthusiasm that comes with this new team, it's just the whole place is just lit up. And every night on TeamSpeak, we'll have 5 to 10 people on TeamSpeak just working together as a unit. It's awesome, and we've got significant 2 significant names have jumped on board our team. That hasn't been made known yet, but that'll be broadcast during the week. So, including a X-Series champion in the V8s has come on board. So, fantastic news for the team.
That's excellent news. It's always great to see these teams, how they take shape, but I expect really big things from your team, Brenton. It's looking fantastic.
Yeah, it is. We're really happy with it. All this does mean that I go down the tree again in regards to back to being the slowest in the team, but I've got my hands full with helping out with managing the team. It's a big team, it must be said. Got to keep sponsors happy, Maverick Welding and Demidov Innovations. So I keep my hands full there, and I enjoy doing it. I love it.
Yeah, same here with our team. I found I'm not the quickest driver, but it's great to have all those fast drivers in our team, and we're a relatively young team, and as you said, it takes a lot of work to build these teams, but it's fantastic work. I love it myself. And I'll tell you what, one person that is loving this is, I think, Matthew Hill, as he isn't going to let Timothy Jackson go by the looks of it. He's starting to close back up again.
No, he's doing what he's playing the smart card, isn't he? He's just got to stick with him. He knows his teammate Dylan Sharman. He's no goose. He's going to be. They've just gone past Gorell. I was actually thinking there might be a problem with your lead car, but Paul doesn't race the rough very often, so he's that. But he's doing the job, and he's no slouch. He knows what's going on. He knows exactly what he has to do, and at the moment, letting Jackson set the pace, and Hill can sit behind.
Yeah, and they've got a pretty good lead over Warren back in 4th at the moment. There's some 17 seconds up the road back to Warren Pickering, so...
Yeah, the sort of team we know that. There's plenty of experience here in the GT3s. Probably dropping off the pace a little bit, as we said, 17 seconds down now on the podium position here. But he's got a bit of a gap back too as well, 6.5 seconds, so I got on my screen here. And we know that Dave Arnold and Warren, neither of them slouches. I wouldn't say who's the number 1 driver and number 2 driver there. Yeah, Warren's done some great things in this rough that we see on the screen now, especially in the Asian GT Series. It's probably, if anything, threw away a win in that series of race 1, and Motegi in the night race actually held the lead coming up on the last lap, about 2 corners to go, win to Tierra in that team. But yeah, plenty of experience for Warren.
Hey Paul, how's it going, mate? Sorry, I can't hear you.
Stratford in the 4 Sports, swapping over from Hayden Dodman. So Matty's a guy on the way up here, and we welcome back Bernie to the commentary box. Thankfully, we hope he was still on.
Yeah, no, sorry, Brenton. I saw Paul Nelson was down in the interview channel, but he's having some problems with his microphone at this stage. I'm just trying to sort him out.
Okay, yep, no worries at all. I don't have access to all that, so I'll just take your word for that. Yeah, so Matt Stratford up in the 20th, just being passed there by Pickering. Nico Brandt on the way up after the dramas of his earlier laps, and pitted on lap 30. They're on their lap 48 now, so a lap but yeah, starting to push in. Pickering in front of him again, so they'll be giving way to Pickering shortly, I think. And Paul Feely doing a good job. Where did he go? Brant Tucker comes out the pits. Tom Jones, the car's Cactus, that KRF 72 BMW is gone this time. It's yeah, 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're out for Brett Spicer. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot of smoke coming out of that car, and I don't think it's even worth doing up the paint job on that one. That's gone. Brett Gerards is in the pits too from 8th position. A fantastic opening 2 stints from Gavin Sadler. Unusual time to be pitting lap 49. They'll get up to lap 79. That won't make it, I don't think, so they'll need to do another stop.
Okay, Brenton, I think we might have the microphone issue sorted out, so I'll bring Paul up and see how his race is going.
G'day, Paul. Welcome along to SEKQLD's Endurance Series. Brett O'Brien and Bernie Weemers here. Mate, as you know, spent a lot of time watching you go lap after lap in the Pit Talk Asia.com Asian GT3 series, majority being sprint races. How are you finding it out there tonight?
Yeah, g'day guys. Yeah, I thought I should pop in and explain myself why I missed my pit. Bit embarrassing. I couldn't see, there was no one with a lollipop standing there waiting for me, and of course with this team racing, I'd completely forgotten to take note of the colour of the overalls that the All-Stars SEK Rough team is wearing this weekend, because my guys usually wear red, but it appears Jake's got our guys in blue today. And I just totally didn't see him. But what distracted me is the pit limiter didn't activate when I went into the pit, so I'm busy worrying about the pit limiter, and of course we qualified so far back. Before I knew it, I was halfway down pit lane. I tried to reverse back, but it was too far to reverse. I would have got a black flag, so I had to go around and just had enough fuel to make it. I actually ran out, so I was lucky to get into the pit stall.
Yeah, costly mistake, mate. One that we've probably all done before. How's the car running apart from that? Obviously that's disappointing news for you, because as I've been saying on the broadcast, you guys, especially yourself, I don't know that much about teammate, but you show some genuine pace in the Asian series. Definitely one of the top drivers, it has to be said. But Jake's in the car now. How's he doing?
Yeah, mate, Jake's been very quick a couple of the other rounds, but he's had a couple of issues here with this track. And myself too had a bit of a problem with the brakes, so I was just happy to keep it in one piece. There's no dents on the car when handed it over. I just jumped out of the session, so I'm not sure if that's still the case, but yeah, I was happy just to make it through with no incidents. And there's plenty of guys spinning off, and there's plenty of action to keep me entertained. So I was just happy to stay in touch with the guys ahead. I'd be disappointed that I think it was Lewis did well. He's about 7 seconds behind me at the start of the run, and at the end of the run he got past and he was 7 seconds ahead. So we don't have the pace, but we're happy just to be ticking off the laps and staying out of trouble so far. But I think we dropped back a bit, about 20 seconds with that mistake at least. So
you're about to go a second lap down. It seems. What time is you're probably due for another pit stop? I'm going to assume you take over the reins in probably another 10-11 laps. That's the plan.
That's soon. Better get back to it. Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't really done the numbers. That's Jake's job this weekend. But I think he was telling me we can make it to the end. So we'll see how we go.
Well, just going by your fuel numbers, it looks like everyone's pitting around lap 30. Get yourself to lap 60, and I don't know. You're the experts. Fill up and bring it home, I would imagine. So we're getting time there. So no, it's a good-ish effort. I'm not going to say it's your best drive I've seen, mate. I've seen you put in some outstanding drives in the Asian series, but you know, we've still got a good part of an hour to go in this race, and no doubt the All-Star Motorsports SEK Rough will work its way up through the field again from its 24th place at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm just having a look at the front of the car, Paul. It looks a little bit bent, but
he doesn't want to know.
It's not too bad, mate.
I've deliberately haven't said that to him. I was going to let him talk about it when someone handed the keys over to him. Go, what the hell happened here?
Dirty air here, and the winds. The wind seems to be gusting up to. I mean, at one stage it was only 2 kilometres an hour, and at other times it was up to 20. So it's been really gusty with these realistic conditions, and we're running pretty high humidity, and it's very cool as well. And I really noticed the dirty air. And then the turbulence, which I imagine from the wind gusts. So tyre wear was really good though. Just losing a little bit of front end grip because they're running such a heavy fuel load towards the end. But yeah, really pleased with how the tyres held up, and I guess we're not going fast enough.
Well,
so that
during that sentence, you was having a look at the wind, and the wind during your sentence went from 3 kilometres an hour up 22 kilometres an hour. So definitely gusting, probably steady around 16, 17, I think it's where it's favoured at. But so I was going to ask you about the tyres. The tyres seem to be holding up all right. You're not struggling in your systems.
Well, we're running, which I thought it's a night race, and it'd help us with the long runs. But I've just gone a little bit too far with the downforce, and as a result, maybe we're a bit more susceptible to these wind gusts, and the other guys are just cutting straight through it with a lower rear end. But yeah, these guys really setting some quick times out front, and I was hoping we could just stay on the rear of the quick train, but we seem to be all having a good fight there in the early laps, the second half of the pack, and it didn't take us long to get dropped, but that was good fun.
Well, the quick
and
derailments earlier has to be said with our pole position, man. struggling now actually with that route of the race, and also leading roughly at 20s, I think it was, I can't remember off the top of my head now. Yeah, they both, the IndyCar Enthusiast Racing Team, sorry, they started 7th on the grid. They've burst their bubble as well, unfortunately. So, yeah, there's still some pieces to be picked up here, and the All-Star Motorsports SEK Rough from its 24th place can certainly move ahead.
Yeah, but no word of a lie. I went back and looked at the replay, and on the first lap when I missed my pit stall, and I was sure there was no one there with a lollipop, but there was the second time when I came around. So I'm not sure it was my fault or the guys in the pits went ready for me. I don't know what was happening there, but there was definitely no one with a lollipop. It wasn't on the replay. I thought you could see it on the replay, but maybe he was there and I didn't see him. But
I think you'll find it was that bunch of school kids on an excursion going through there, and one of the larger kids probably seen a large lollipop, and might have had an effect on your race, mate.
What it is when you qualify 30th, you come into the pit, you're just not expecting to stop so soon. Maybe I'm not used to qualifying down there. I was kind of hoping we'd end up somewhere around 12th or 15th on the grid, so that was the main reason. I just wasn't prepared to come to a stop so soon on the pit lane.
Yeah,
but anyway, lesson learned. Next time I'll check the colour of the overalls before the next race.
Yeah, you're not flying solo there. I remember the latest Bathurst 1000 OSR run did so well. My teammate and I just scraped in, qualified 48th, and safety car came out on lap 1 or 2, I think it was. And I thought, it's a chance just to have a bit of a top-up, see where the back, and by the time I made this adjustment, that adjustment came into pit lane, pit limiter on, I'd already driven past my pit man, just kept going. But in the end, I was actually thankful for it, because if I came in with overall fuel left at the end, I would not have been able to get around, so it worked out quite well, and it was a lesson learned for myself, and hopefully for all those that are listening now.
Oh, well, good work, guys. I'm going to get back out there and try and chase down Gavin. I think he might have got ahead of us with that little error. But I better get back to it, and we'll have a chat to you later. Thanks, guys.
Good luck to you, Paul.
Yeah, good luck, Paul.
Yeah, I've got to get to the fridge and raid the esky before I get in the car, so I'll head off and I'll talk to you later.
Tell your team to have the lollipop ready.
Cheerio.
And Paul Nelson there. Struggling down 24th, as I said, there's still a long way to go, and chances are that he'll move up a couple of positions. So just back to the lead still, and Chris Osborne's he's really driven the lines out of this thing. Excuse the pun, considering it's a night race. Lap 55 he's on now. His last lap of 43.9. He's just pulling away lap after lap. That gets out to 24 seconds now. So no matter what happens here, it's a fantastic stint, it has to be said. And they are looking real handy from third place on the grid. And just really doing the job. These guys have punched out some good consistent laps, and they're going to be a threat if they can show this pace. They'll be a threat every single race.
Okay, yeah, well, we're just getting the gyro cam pictures of Chris Osborne, so we'll stick with him for a lap, just so the viewers can see how much I guess the gradient changes on these bank corners compared to the flats.
And the gyro cam really shows the bumps as well. He rides these curves here. We're back into the look at that. Hold on to your hats there, folks, because I think we're running at about 23, 24 degrees on the Daytona ovals here. You can really show just consistent laps. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Coming up to the end of lap 55, we'll get a soon. We'll get a time of 43.925. His last lap 44.1, so consistent laps. Deep under brakes here again. Not a lot of work on the wheel, it has to be said, so he's doing this pretty easy. Obviously their setup's just working magic for him this time. Yeah, if you get those who haven't driven this track, do yourself a favour, as Molly Melgin would say, and get into it. It's a great track, and every year iRacing do a separate 2.4 Daytona race. It'd be great to see as many Aussies get into that as possible. And let's face it, the Aussies are a bit of disappointment at the last World Cup of iRacing. Not our strongest contingent, but it'd be great to for the Aussies to show their flag next year and show them what we can really do. And I used to say that one day if the Aussies don't win the World Cup, we can choose Bathurst and the V8s and see how the rest of the world goes, competing with the likes of Hampstead and McLeod and Madison down, etc. Bo Cubis.
Yeah, I tried to run the Daytona 2.4, I think it was last year or the year before in the Riley, but unfortunately I think I only got about 2 laps in and then I blew the motor up, so I'll have to...
I remember I ran it in the rough, and Scotty Stevens of JFF Racing and myself just had a great battle for 2.4 hours. I think in the end it just came to a battle of who made the least mistakes, and he had me covered there, but I think we ended up finishing 7th and 8th combined, so it was a fantastic race. And it's just, some of these long races, it's good just to have these little battles within the battle. It's not necessarily the nose to tail stuff, it could be anything outside of that, and just maintaining that gap to the lead. So just Reece Gardner has now taken over from Matthew Barron, and Matthew's done that great comeback drive. Reece hasn't done anything shabby here. 43.4s, 43.8s, 44.5 last lap. He's a lap down. Our leader hasn't pitted yet, Chris Osborne, so Reece will pick up an extra 40 odd seconds. I don't think he's going to be in for a chance to win the race, let's not kid ourselves, but I think he's certainly a potential for a top 5 position here. So coming up, the pit window's pretty much open now. Lap 56, so I think you'll see some pit stops happening soon. George Fulton's done a reasonable job. He's taken over from Guy Leach. Guy, must be said, is the faster of the two, but looking on board now with George. He's kept the car clean. The SEK Queensland BMW has done an outstanding job. Just having a look here in the pits. David Mutton in the pit, Mansell in the pit, your man Paul Gorell in the pit, he's jumping out. Duncan Smith will be jumping back in. Pit window is open. They'll just have to fill up and get home from here. These cars are a couple of laps down. The leaders won't be quite coming in just yet.
Yeah, I was just having a look at the times. Reece is pumping out compared to George, and Reece is definitely on the money as far as pace. He's just last lap, what was he? No, yeah, about...
Who?
Oh, sorry, I messed that up. George is just half a second faster than Reece, sorry. I'm going cross-eyed.
And Pickering out of the car and your man Arnold back in the car, being held up in pit exit, must be said, by, I think it's David Mutton, is it? Yeah, it is. So it's going to cause a bit of angst there with your team. Arnold's having to let a few of the faster guys through at the moment. Maloney's now behind him. So the cold tyres and they're coming out of the pit, so Mutton's stayed in front of Braithen. Morrow has actually taken a position there, so it's probably, hopefully it's not too costly a pit stop for your team. They've come out in some heavy traffic, has to be said.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. It's definitely not where we'd want them to come out, but I guess, you got to pit when you got to pit.
Yeah, and they've gone the lap down as well on Osborne. We know Osborne hasn't pitted. I would imagine it might be this lap or next. Just through the bus stop at the moment. His last lap of 44 flat is still super competitive. We're talking we're up to 25, I think it's 26 seconds on second and third. So there's a fair chunk of pit stop in there's a lead here. If anything, I would even be dropping back a bit here. He's taken Mutton, mind you, so that could have caused a bit of a gap there between himself and Morrow in front of him. But Morrow won't have to get out of the way. Paul Mansell will with the blue flags. But I'd imagine Morrow will be coming in for a pit stop. Probably even as soon as this lap, maybe the next. Yeah, it keeps on going. So through into turn 1, up into 9th place for Morrow, the Blackadder Motorsports. It's a good effort that. Started at 11th on the grid, moved up to 9th. They've had some early issues as well. Lewis Kigali has started there. I hope I pronounced that name right. Lewis with the fastest lap of 43.6. nothing wrong with that. So Braith coming up to the end of his stint on a Magic Lewis will be getting back into that car. Jack Maloney's just gone off as well, so Paul's bright shiny orange rough is just going to get that little bit dirtier. Worked the way up to 20th. I think he's let the leaders through there. I think that's why he's gone off with Hill and Jackson in second and third. I reckon they would have preferred he stayed on the track, and that would have saved him a few heartbeats. Hill just seems to be stretching now over Jackson a bit. Like I said, that 59 now, these guys can pit at any stage. I think there's going to be too much work for Dylan Sharman to do to catch up again for the win, but certainly there's a solid podium coming in.
Yeah, we're just having a look at the replay there, and Jake Maloney stepped aside to let Dylan through the kink and just ran off the road, but he did well to pull it up, and because there was great potential of T-boning Dylan coming into that sharp corner.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about your screen. That's Matty Hill driving that car, and they'll be getting ready for a pit stop and changing over, and Dylan will take that over.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the overlays, because every time we have pits, I've got to restart the overlay software, because it doesn't automatically update.
Jackson into the pits now, fantastic effort. He's done 60 laps straight. I got a lot of time for Jacko, a lot of respect for him as a driver. Jason Black will jump into the car now, solid GT3 driver, it must be said. He'll get out there on new tyres and hopefully push as hard as he can, and create a bit of a difference here between him and it will be Dylan Sharman getting in. Long pit stop for the 35 Maverick Welding sponsored rough. We also have Paul Feely jumping in the car. He'll be jumping out after doing 2 stints, and Rod Pinder will be jumping in the Southwest Racing rough. So, good stint there. We've got a bit of with David Hingston coming into the pits as well. A bit of damage to that rough there in the LMR2 down in 24th. Connor Schmecky, haven't talked about him at all. The ART McLaren up to 5th place. Did a good job last week. And Philip Wyler has to be said in the McLaren. He'll be changing over to his co-driver Timothy Schmecky. So there we go. I'm going to safely assume they're brothers, or dad and son. So a fantastic effort there. The RRT McLaren came in from 5th place, so it's an awesome performance. Rod Pinder leaves the pits. Philip Stoneman back in the car, LMM Touring International rough. The Torino one came in 12th position. Obviously now Guy Leach is back in the SEK. Michael Yow's back in. Reece Gardner has still maintained his 6th position here. But they're out of sync though. The pit stops. They're going to need to do an extra pit stop, I would imagine, unfortunately, from their last pit at 47, 77. No, they'll have to do another pit stop, so that's 6 is real 6. Brad Wooden is also back in the car. So Chris has had a pit stop, so congratulations to Chris. A fantastic job.
And looks like Mitchell McLeod's just come into the pits as well.
Yeah, have a look at Mitch's time. 43.6 on lap 43 is a good effort. 45's a couple of ugly ones in there, but he doesn't race the GT3 that often, and I think he'll be reasonably happy with that performance. So all the Maccas seem to be in at the moment. We've got McLeod, Benefield and Kurt Bond who came in, and also Dylan Sharman is exiting pits now. Car 911, the 911 McLaren MP4 exiting the pits. Let's see where he comes out compared to Jason Black. Well, he's well in front of Jason Black, it must be said, so I'm just wondering whether they've put a full tank in there or what's happened there, because significant gain by Dylan Sharman there. as Black doesn't look over his shoulder and look at Reese Gardner, his competition, yeah, I said Reese has got another pit stop. They're up to 4th at the moment. Good drive, good comeback drive, but probably just scratching top 10 at the moment, I would say. So we're just going to wait till things settle down a bit here with pit stops, etc. And what's happened here? And no doubt it'll all settle down shortly, and we'll be able to tell you exactly who's what, where, and how, and when. Nico Brandt into the pits here. I've had a bit of a touch-up. Disappointing for Nico, as Brzezinski did such a great job in the first stint. They were up as high as 3rd. So some problems for them. He's brought the car in 9th position, but he'll be well outside the top 10 and over a lap down by the time he comes out. So our first standing lap for Jason Black, a 44.9, just getting those tyres up to pressure. That's a good start, you should be happy with that. It's a good opening lap for him. The ERA BMW is just the 5 seconds up on their rivals. However, they're a pit stop plus. So overall, I think they're actually over a minute ahead of the 4th place car. Actually, so there we go, times have corrected. 26 seconds ahead of the next real series competition. They're not racing with the V8s Online Motorsport because that's got another pit stop to go.
And I tell you what, Dylan's not pulling out a gap on Jason, so that's fantastic driving for Jason there.
Yeah, Jason's a good stick. That's 8 seconds there, so there's a bit of work to do. Kurt Bond is the orange McLaren just in front of Jason at the moment. They've just come out of the pits with a fresh set of boots as well. So, yeah, no, there's a lot to be said for Jason. Like I said, he's really handy with setups, and he's no slouch behind the wheel. He's very much like a Larry Perkins of our team. He's works both on and off the track, works really hard.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the camera here. Every now and again Dylan will jump into to view, so I don't think he's that far ahead really. It says 9 seconds.
Yeah, 44.5 for Dylan, his first flying lap. With Jason now, and 44.7, so 2 tenths, he'd be happy with that. So long as he doesn't, like I said, doesn't get caught looking over his shoulder. Reese is 44.8. Must be coming up close. That 46 they pitted. That 46. You know, they're still going a little bit longer now, but like I said, they don't have to worry about looking over their shoulder. The competition is Rod Pinder, again at 44.6, but they are well back. They're 25 seconds down the road. And having a good battle with Dave Arnold here. So this is where race for position here. With Dave Arnold in the Redback Racing team at GT3 Team 1 Rough, battling with Rod Pinder. Rod has taken the wheel from Paul Feely, who double stinted at the start. Rod's opening laps 45 flat and 44.6. There's nothing shabby about those at all. So Dave Arnold, a bit of work to do here.
Yeah, well, with 36 minutes to go to the end of this race, I think it's go time.
Yeah, it is go time for sure. Sorry, just in the middle of something there. Yeah, well, if you're not going to go now, there's no point in hanging around.
Yeah, exactly. Okay folks, now that most of the pit action has taken place, I'll take you through our top 5, top 10 positions. We've still got Brad Wooten out front. He's some 23, looks like, yep, 20, sorry, my thing's dropping out. He's 20 seconds down the track.
20 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, from Dylan Sharman, followed by Jason Black. He's how many seconds? 10 seconds, I guess.
Yeah,
down
about
the track.
10 seconds. Yeah, about the Direction Clutch Motorsports leading the way by 20 seconds. TTL second, and Evolution Racing in Australia is in third.
Yes.
V8's online is down as fourth, but I reckon that would be close to a net sixth, maybe net seventh. Actually, net seventh.
Yeah, because they're pitting on a different race strategy than the rest, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah, they are. They had early dramas, and it's their strategy completely. But you know, it's still. How much time is there to go? You'd be
34 minutes. 34
so
minutes
with
to go.
34 minutes to go, you know, we're still 18, 19 laps to go here. So, actually, probably more than that. Probably just 20 laps to go. Lance Hawes has actually come back and pit. Sorry to do that to you. Yeah, so it's still a fair bit of racing to go as well. This is a scheduled stop, I do believe it is. Lance did the opening stint. Nobby might go over to the second stint at the full 30 laps. So yeah, good stint by Nobby, has to be said. Lance is back in. They've struggled a bit today with overall pace, but up to 29th. I think they started lower than that. Yeah, they did 33rd, so yeah, they've progressed their way up a little bit. So maybe they will be happy with that.
Yeah, and the retirements we've had to date, looks like we've got Glenn Firth's retired, Michael Ford, Tom Jones, Stuart Hall, Gary Hamilton, Alex Pohl, Jamie Peters, and these are the guys that didn't start, was Jamie Peters, Andrew Wallace, David Swan and Pat O'Hara. So we've had probably, nearly a quarter of the field retire at this point.
Yeah, there's been a few retire, but not as many as maybe originally thought. There's some good runoff areas though here, and we've seen some cars go off and not touching anything you can do from half the runoff areas here. But just having a look at your boy at the moment, Dave Arnold, still hasn't got the job done on Rod Pinder, so Rod's coming amongst some traffic here. This could be an opportunity for Dave, but Rod's putting in some very respectable laps, so 43.5 last lap in fact, so this isn't a given with Dave Arnold, who's dropped a 43.4 in there though, but this is where the action is right now. Yeah,
definitely, and it looks like now that the second stops have been done, we've got a couple of drivers waiting to come up to the commentary box, so I might go and grab Paul Feely and we'll have a chat with Paul. Hi Paul, welcome to the commentary box. How's your race going tonight?
Oh, hang on, I'm make sure I press the right button first. Is that broadcasting?
Yeah, no, we've got you. I can hear you.
Really good. I just did 2 stints and we've come through in 5th. It's really, really quite tricky with the drafting. Someone can have low wing and you've got no way past them, so you've just got to be sensible and back out of it sometimes.
Yeah, so you're partnering with Rod, is that right? Rod Pinder?
Yeah, the normal member of the team is Maverick Benson. He's got exams the first few rounds, so Rod stepped in. He's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, we've just got him on camera now. He's running 5th, doing a fantastic job at the moment, and I must say, one of my team drivers is behind him, but he's not being able to make the move, which is good for you guys.
Yeah, Warren Pickering and David have been pretty similar on pace all series so far, so they're a good balance point. We haven't really done very well the first few rounds, so pretty happy to be up in the top 10.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent drive. So how are the tyres go for the rough around here? Do they drop off a cliff, or how did you find it?
I'm not a hard user of the tyres, and I just wanted a setup that wasn't going to kill me at Daytona. I prefer to stay on the track than be fast, so you just got to be very patient in turn 1 and very patient coming onto the oval. If you're too eager in those corners, you'll heat up the rears in no time, but if you're patient, he can make them last pretty well.
Yeah, fantastic. So before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
I suppose do shout to Gav for organising the series. It's really well run. It's good effort, and I think your broadcast is pretty cool too. I only saw them for the first time last week, and I was very impressed.
I'm going to jump in there. Sorry, your car has just taken a bit of a hit there, unfortunately, as we speak right now. And unfortunately, Bernie, so is yours. I reckon.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward, isn't it?
I'm not sure if they've hit each other, but Dave Arnold has gone in way too deep under brakes there at turn 1. I'm not sure if there was contact made. Sorry to do this to you. Oh, he's gone. Sorry to do this to you, Bernie, but that was deep under brakes mistake by Dave Arnold there.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up, and we'll see if there was contact made. I don't think there was. I think no contact. Dave just came in really hot under brakes and just outbraked himself. So that's good news for both teams.
Yeah, to get out of that, but yeah, that just shows the pressure's building on Dave now. I was expected him with his considerable GT3 experience and a strong team, Redback Racing, to do the job here. But Rod Pinder, what a fantastic effort! Oh
no, Rod's done an awesome job. And I'm just having a look down in the commentary. We've got a couple of other guys down there. We've got Tim Jackson. We might bring Tim up. Do you want to have a chat with Tim?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll bring him up for you.
Tim Jackson, welcome to the SEK GT3 Endurance Series here. Mate, representing the new team. I've said it enough times tonight, the Evolution Racing Australia. Yourself and Jason Black doing an outstanding job. It must be set up to 3rd place. Tell us a bit about your race so far.
Yeah, mate, it's been a whirlwind. It's really stoked to be maintained up there the whole race. Jason's doing a good job. Just not sure about Reece Gardner, whether they've got a pit again or they're to run to the flag. That was a bit of a strange one.
No, they'll be pitting again by our calculations.
We've had, sorry guys to jump in, we've had a massive incident on the front straight here. I'm just trying to get the replay up with Philip Stoneman.
Just having a look at that now. He's taken some prisoners too.
Yeah, it was a nasty hit. I'm just seeing who was on the outside of him, if that was Jay Kennedy or not, in the McLaren.
It looks very net-coach. Like Stoneman's car's actually gone straight through Kennedy's car, but it's not a great place to pull up stumps there, and there's cars scattering everywhere to miss them. Nothing to worry about with your car there, Jacko, but that's just the type of thing that could happen. That's heart and mouth stuff there, but Jacko, tell us a bit more about the plan here. I think you'll get home. I don't think the team behind you will get home. I don't think there's an issue there. The last pitted, I think it was going through that before lap 47, I think it was. So I just lost Jason Black here. So come on my screen. Oh, there it is. Goodness for that. Actually, they might be the pits now. I just lost them as well. Yeah, they'll definitely have to pit. I think lap 47 was when they pitted.
Oh, that's a bonus. That gives Jason a bit of breathing room, and he can just concentrate on bringing the car home nice and easy.
Yeah, well, Reece is doing a good job. Lap 46, 47. You're getting 30 laps out of a tank. I'm going to
imagine. Yeah, about 29.
Gets them through to lap 77. How much time have we got left there, Bernie?
Too much.
26 minutes.
Yeah, well, they're not going to make that, so that's what I was predicting. I think they've got themselves a net 6, maybe a net 7th for the 94 V8s on Good Motorsport. But just a bit more about your stint. You double stinted early today. Fantastic effort and kept the pressure on Dylan and also Matthew Hill throughout. Jason's doing a great job. But what about your stint? Did you have any problems out there at all?
No, towards the end of the first stint, a lot of understeer coming through the chicanes that we can see now that he's driving through, but not really. Once you maintain that draft, he just took it easy. Matty Hill. It was Matty Hill. Sorry, yeah. we traded position for a while, but it got pointless because we weren't really making anywhere, and fourth position was starting to creep in on us. So it was just best to run together and try and spread that gap.
Yeah, it's a good idea too, and I think ultimately it's maybe we've still got a bit to go. Yeah, I know James is probably the nervous type behind the wheel, and no doubt hoping and praying he doesn't make a mistake. But I know I've talked about it as well, but fantastic new direction. The Demonov Innovations Motorsports team has gone, change of name, new sponsors. What can you tell us about that?
Oh, look, it's massive for us personally. It's been a lot of hard work in behind the scenes, yourself particularly, obviously, and Nathan Britton with continuing with Demidov. But look, it's a long time coming. We've been working on it, and hopefully up to bigger and better things. And you know, you see us up the front a lot more often, not only in the V8s but the GT3s and what other categories we seem to run in.
Yeah, and some big names to be signed up in the very near future, from what I understand. So, yeah, with the Maverick Welding and Evolution Racing Australia team going outstanding tonight, making their GT3 debut. Bernie, it's a shocking shame we can't see that skin. Let's fix that problem up next week, my friend, because this team's going onwards and upwards.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll be in touch with you guys to get your skin. For some reason, I did the download tonight, but it didn't come down in the Google Drive thing.
Yeah, that's definitely been put there. So yeah, obviously something's gone skew.
Yeah, I'll definitely sort that.
But anyway, great job so far, Jacko. A bit of the race to go, no doubt. Blackie, who doesn't like a lot of chat on TeamSpeak, but he likes a lot of information. We know that because the current workers of the team have said that before. He's a good engineer and a solid driver. So, mate, go back and have a chat with him and bring him home, and hopefully, fingers crossed, fantastic podium for the ERA team on their debut.
Thanks, Brent. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Tim Jackson, yeah, just punching away the laps. A bit of just on board with Jason Murphy because we're developing a bit of understeer, and their problems are all going to go away shortly. Actually, their problems have gone away because there we go. There, Reece Gardner from 4th place, as we predicted, is in the pits. So as we both said earlier, that he's not going to make it all the way to the end, and there's really not much point just hanging on. You might as well get some new tyres on there, short fuel the car if necessary, and get out there and race with who you're racing with.
I've got another driver waiting for an interview, Brenton. It's Michael Ford. I'll just bring him up and have a chat with him, see how his race is shaping up. Hi Michael, welcome to the commentary box. How's your race been going tonight?
Abysmal to say the least.
Yeah, well, we're having a look there, Michael. Yeah, it's been some dramas, has to be said. GT3 is running here at Daytona. How do you find them on a good day when your steering wheel's going fine and all that? Everything seems to be going wellish. Apart from that, team's putting in some steady times. A couple of incidents, but still punching out some laps.
Yeah, the GT3 suits this sort of track, and you put the power down so early, and it's the top speed of it is just amazing around the oval part.
And how's the good driver going at Bradley? I think it is a bit of fatigue setting in. The only reason I ask this is I'm just on board with a couple of cars now, and there's a couple of mistakes being made late into the race. How are you guys handling that?
Yeah, fatigue definitely. We weren't planning on this strategy. The strategy was originally that I was going to do the first stint, come into pit, let Brad take over the middle section of the race, and I would hopefully sprint home, but that didn't eventually work.
So, expectations probably below. Oh, hang on a sec. Mitch McLeod has just punched into Lance. This is what I'm saying. Mitch McLeod just ran into the back of Lance Hawes there and caused Lance to go off. So there's just a few little errors coming in, and I'm sure the concentration level is as high as ever, but the ability is probably lacking at the moment, just with fatigue settling in. So not many laps to go now. Probably 16 laps to go, I would imagine. How's the series going for you so far? Throw this race away. How about the rest of the series?
Yeah, started up Phillip Island last weekend. It was good. for myself. Brad made a few little errors in the start of the race. That's racing. Who didn't want to get too involved in the first lap tangles, which didn't eventuate, but good consistency and hopefully some strong results to come.
Yeah, without giving too much away, because you and I know what's happening somewhere else, but the plan next week, is it to stay in this team for next week's race, or is there a possibility of something else happening without giving too much away?
There's always a possibility. I'm open to ideas and anything really.
Sweet, alright. Well mate, yeah, probably a bit down tonight, it must be said, but it's a learning curve, and you guys aren't last on the track, and yeah, no doubt there's a lot more to come in front.
No, I just got to give a big shout out to my brother Ian, who thankfully was awake when I ran around and snared up a spare wheel to try and get back onto the race.
Yeah, well, from my understanding, he had that spare wheel because crashed out corner one, lap one in the 8:15, 9:15 for at least let's race tonight. So he had a few dramas there. So you're actually using Ian's spare wheel, or is?
I am, yeah. I'm using his spare wheel, and the power packs.
Well, it's great to have that kind of backup just down the road there. So that's remarkable. It's very important that. So, well, mate, yeah, commiserations tonight. Hopefully, bigger and better things that are be coming your way shortly, we hope, and no doubt we'll see you in the real near future and get yourself further up the grid.
Awesome, thanks, guys.
Good on you, mate. Cheers. It's Michael Ford and Ian Ford, his brother. He's a very competitive driver in the official V8 series, and came fourth at the Bathurst 1000 this year. And, Ian's very much the driver of the family, and Michael's very, very much the engineer of the family. And I've listened to the two of them in team speak together, give feedback, and gee, they work well as a team. And I know Ian drives in the same team as me. And who's to say Michael in the near future won't be coming on board, shall we say? Look forward to hopefully many good weeks ahead.
So, folks, we've still got Brad Wooten out in the lead at the moment. He's got a good 19.5 second lead over Dylan Sharman at the moment, who again has stretched the lead over Jason Black by some 20 seconds. But Jason's doing a fantastic job in third at the moment. Fourth,
this is where the battle is. I think you need to get on your boy here, young Dave. And right behind him's Rod, so Dave's got himself through, but Rod's not letting this go. 43.9's his last lap. So yeah, this is where your race is right here. And Guy Leach, we know, is fast behind him, albeit a lap down. So yeah, this is going to be exciting. How long to go?
17 minutes we've got to go.
17 minutes of racing to go. A few little scares for Dave here. He's got him nose in front, so track position is so important. 44.4 last lap for him. 43.9 for Rod. So as I just said, Rod's not going to let this go. And these guys are finding their way closer to Jason Black. I don't think they're going to make it. I really don't. But certainly pushing hard to the end, and even behind them in 6th, 7th and 8th, there's only 0.8 of a second covering those ART McLaren, the V8's Online Motorsport, BMW and the VPR team, the 666 car. So battles all the way to the end here.
Yeah, and it's fantastic to see David back in the car. He's just a bit of inside news. He probably hasn't raced for about a year now, so he's just finally got back in the car and giving it a go. So we're really happy with his performance so far. And it looks like Rod Pinder's just taken the outside move coming into turn one there.
Well, these guys are drawing themselves ever closer to Jason Black. Like I said, I don't think they'll get there, but yeah, super competitive finish.
Yeah, Rod went really hard under brakes there and went wide into turn one, and David came back in underneath him again. So yeah, they're at it.
I'm not sure Guy Leach is going to be in a Christmas spirit here come early November in letting Rod straight back past him. But what he could do is actually get Rod back up to where Dave is with a decent draft. this is the time where Dave's got to really punch out a quick lap here. So he's just got that little gap, and let's face it, it is just a little gap, but this is the time to really rub it in here and just demoralise Rod a bit. Rod's going to have the benefit of a draft here. It should be a double draft with Guy chasing down Dave as well, so yeah, it's still a bit to play for.
Yeah, if anything, it looks like Guy's ready to overtake David as well.
Well, we've got to remember that for a stage there, Guy was up into second place overall early laps and showed some great pace. Started 6th on the grid, so out-qualified Pinder's car and just behind Dave's car, so he's going to be showing some good pace, and he doesn't have to worry about where he finishes as such. Like, he's down to 14th, so he's just racing for a good ride now. Deep on the brakes here, I'm not sure he wants to get involved with that. Letting Pinder through, yes, thankfully.
Yeah, that could have been nasty if they hadn't given each other some room there. So that was good driving by Guy just to let Rod back through and let these guys get back into this battle.
Yeah, well, it's a good recovery by Rod from that mistake in the same spot last time. Was down, now only the 3/10 behind again. So yeah, definitely, this race is nowhere near done. Yeah, I'm sure Dave's looking in the mirrors to Rod's position, but I'm sure you got all the faith in the world in your boy. So it's almost home now. Probably getting close to. Better understeer there by Dave. That is a definite mistake coming out of that turn onto the main straight, under the oval section.
Yeah, we're down to 13 minutes, folks, and we're just riding now with Rod Pinder as he's starting to gain now in the draft with David Arnold down the back straight. So we'll just hang here for a bit and watch the action.
Well, it's all out attack from here, isn't it? There's no need to defend, although could be very much like GP Moto 3 action, where perhaps, just perhaps, it doesn't pay to be in front at the start of the last lap. Maybe it'd be a good chance to sit behind it just right at the last minute, as you do at Daytona in the Gen 6 cars and the Indy cars, etc. on the ovals. Might not hurt to be behind with 1 lap to go, because look at the difference that this draft makes. Backing off early here on.
That's absolutely incredible, isn't it? The amount of draft these guys are getting down that straight.
Yeah, doing comfortably. Just a bit of understeer again from Rod to that turn, just loses a bit into turn 1 there. And we've got Guy Leach right behind both of them, and you can see from both angle in the car that it just Rod's, he's not out of this, he's right in this, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rod's deliberately sitting back here and just waiting to that last bit, because we saw what difference that draft made. It was significant. 44.5 for Dave Arnold last lap. Haven't seen Jason Blake for a while. 44.5, doing the job, doing a great steady job there. Just not making mistakes, and that's what it's all about. Dylan Sharp at 44.5 as well, so 44.5 is the number of the day, except for our leader Brett Wooden of 44.1, and they're up to 19, or if anything down to 19 seconds. Dylan Sharp has made some gains there, but nothing that's going to make them look over their shoulder.
Yeah, I think counting down the laps, if Rod just gets closer to Dave and just hangs there, I reckon he's gonna get him in the draft. Seems like the part they're just coming up to now, this is when the draft really kicks in for Rod. You can just see how quickly he's pulling David in.
Yeah, it's significant, isn't it? Just having a look at an issue here on the Jackson Black benefit for some reason, giving Black a hard time, and it doesn't need to happen there, so I'd be quite happy if Jason let Benefield through the GTI racing. And Benefield's getting a bit anxious here, I don't know, and Benefield's lost it, and he's lost it always one. That's not crash out driving, that Mike Benefield. He's now not even on the proper track, so that's... I don't know what his anxiety was there, I really don't. It didn't need to happen. He's a lap down and trying to unlap himself from the third place car, and before I could listen, give him a bit of a gobful, so I'm not sure that needed to happen.
And we just had Rod Pinder take David coming into the second corner. Fantastic move, and it's David's turn now to get the draft.
Yeah, well, up front, this race isn't over. Black has done a significantly bad lap of 49.5, and Pinder and your boy Arnold within eye shot. They can see the car in front of them now, so what have we got left? Probably 10 minutes of racing to go, 5-6 laps, and down to 8 seconds I think it is, so there's still a bit in this. These guys are fighting their way up, they're drafting closer and closer. Looking at Black's car, and I'm not sure I'm liking what I'm seeing here. 45 flat, it's not what he's after.
David's trying to go down the outside here coming into the first corner. I'm not sure if that's going to be the way to go, but we'll... no, he's pulling back in again.
What this is doing is giving Black that opportunity to hopefully consolidate in third place. I know you're wanting your boy up there as well, but these two racing nose to tail is exactly what the ERA team were after, because Pinder and Dave Arnold are coming home hard here.
Oh yeah, they're not taking prisoners tonight, that's for sure. Well, they are. Well, I don't know.
Well, we know where you're coming from. At the end of the day, they're racing hard, they're racing fair.
That's right.
And they haven't made any contact yet. I'd like to make sure we keep it that way, but this battle of drafting each other, it's bringing them up. It is definitely bringing them up, so it's tense times.
Yeah, and it looks like, is that guy Leach that's just come out of the pits behind them again?
No, short guy just had a pit stop, did he? I think that's Gerard's behind him. May have just had a pit stop. Thinking of it. Petsky DeWalt, BMW, is our host, of course, getting set up. But 11's done a really good job.
David's taking...
And again, into the bus stop, Dave's taking the outside line through. Good drive out of the bus stop. You get your heart monitor there, Bernie.
Yeah, it's back. It's back. I'm just impressed at both of these guys. They're really racing hard, but you know, they're giving each other the room, and it's fantastic to watch this racing.
Yeah, and look at the draft. This is what I'm saying. Maybe you don't want to be in the lead at the start of the last lap, and I'd be feeling more comfortable if Guy Leach wasn't there. Pinned back through again. I'm not sure that can all be the draft. I'm sure a lot of it is, but Pinder's car just seems to have that little bit better straight line speed. Very wide. That was almost a game changer.
Yes, I'm still breathing.
Yeah, pick yourself up. I thought I heard a chamber and a chair falling there, so pick yourself up.
Yeah, that was me falling off the chair. But yeah,
Black's recovered well from 44.9 last lap, 45.3, so Black's recovered well. So I'll pick myself up as well. And Kennedy has just binned it in the 40 McLaren. He's hit the wall hard. He's broken that car in half. I think it's rest in peace, Jay Kennedy, because I don't think you got through that one.
yeah, I'm just trying to pick him up at the moment so I can get a replay of that. So who's Jay's teammate?
That would be Mick McLeod.
Okay.
So a disappointing end for the night for them, but could be potentially a disappointing end of the night for Dave Arnold as well. Still a bit to go here, deep into the bus stop. Good drive out. He does drive this rough very well, but Rod's just developed this gap, and we'll just jump into the car with Dave here at the Redback Racing Rough. Let's just see what this draft can do. My betting is that Rod's got better straight line speed than Dave. No doubt that he'll get picked up in the draft here, but I don't think it's as easy for Dave as it is for Rod.
Yeah, and just having a look at the inside, his windscreen's absolutely filthy.
Yeah, Yeah, Dave's definitely got more confidence into the braking zone, there's no doubt about that. But I think Rod's got the straight line speed. And, you know, if I was Dave and I was only a car length ahead coming out of the bus stop aiming for the finish, or even 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths, I wouldn't be holding a lot of confidence. I'm sure that the car 188 has got some straight line speed advantages over the 15.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way. With 5 minutes to go till the end of this race, not sure what David can do here apart from maybe hold in the draft and hope to get through, but he's definitely not going to pull away from Rod.
No, he's not going to pull away, but this is where he is now, and this is what I'm saying, better into the infield area, more confidence in the braking, better out of the corners as well, but this is where a lot of the race is here, straight line stuff. Yeah, we're all both confident that by the time they get to the bus stop, Dave will pull through, but I'm even more confident by the time they get to the start-finish line, Rod will be back through.
Yeah, it's saying that we're just riding with David, and he's definitely getting.
So even with that little,
okay.
get a shortcut.
Yeah, I think he might get
if he gets a shortcut. He hasn't backed off. Probably got away with that one.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. He was. It looked to me like he was in definite danger of getting that shortcut, but.
And so there's no draft at all here. That's given that Redback Racing. Gee, it's surprising here, Dave's. Yeah, I'm just wondering what's happened with Dave there. I don't think he is. Yeah, have to have a look at that. Dave's backed off a bit here, and he's normally been the better one under brakes.
Yeah, he definitely looked a bit cautious coming into turn 1 there. He was on the brakes early by the looks of it. But you can definitely tell they're definitely starting to trade punches now with only 3 minutes to go.
But it's good racing, isn't it? Even though they got next to each other in the bus, I don't think any contact was made. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It didn't look like any was made. I'm just wrapped around man Jason Black. He is recovering superbly well. 44.6 last lap, fastest man on track. In fact, these guys through their battling have dropped down now. 46.4s for both of them, 46.2 for Dave. But so their battling has taken them out of the equation. The bus stop again. Would be surprised. Would be now. There's the second last, maybe third to last lap. I'm interested to see when the white flag comes out. I don't get that on my screen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as it's out, but I reckon they're going to get in at least another lap after this one. With 2 minutes 30. I reckon.
Rod's moved over on Dave there. Definite moved over. This is, look at them across the strike this time. It's now 0.02 of a second between the two of them, and I reckon that's going to be how close it's going to be at the finish if they don't make any mistakes. So that would have, if they crossed the line that time as it were, then it would have given it to Dave, but Rod's still got his nose in front.
Yeah, I reckon that's a move for Dave. Get in the draft, don't make any moves, and just slingshot down across the finish line.
I've given Jason Black a rap. I can see troubles.
You haven't cursed him, have you?
I've cursed him. I don't think he's got a damage to his car, but I'm sure he's... Or was he just let Benefield through? Not sure. Love to know.
He seems... We're jumping the car with him, but he does seem to be going okay at the moment.
Yeah, maybe just being a bit conservative. I'm hoping he's being a bit conservative.
Yeah, I think he's just backed off, you know, playing the gap and being conservative for the last couple of laps. The car definitely seems to be tracking okay, that's for sure.
Yeah, it might have just... he'd have Jacko in his ear just saying we don't need any brief from Benefield, and Benefield showed, to be honest with you, this late in the racing. I don't know who his teammate is, but he's trying to let himself down there. Chris Dickinson is a good driver. Didn't need to happen, I guess, but everyone's got away with it now. But back to where the action is. And what's happened here is Guy Leach is through, and we are missing Rod Pinder.
Yeah, I'm just getting the replay up.
49.35. He's obviously made a mistake, and thank you, mother, for the rabbits. That position is done.
Yeah, pretty much. I've just got the replay up now, and we'll see exactly what happened. So David's coming in to the chicane behind Rod at this stage. So I jumped us back 50 seconds, so I'll talk us up through to the incident.
Right, so I'm hoping it's all clean and it must be white flagged, I would say.
Yeah, it's white flag, alright.
Oh, well, the people need to know. So this is the last lap, so we'll jump on board with our race leader, soon to be race winner, and I'm hoping I haven't missed him. I think we've
got him coming across the line now.
Ah, well, congratulations to Brad and to Chris. Fantastic effort and well-deserved. Really, really well-deserved win. And should be justifiably happy. In second place, coming across the strike, is Dylan Sharman with Matty Hill in the Team TTL McLaren in before. I think they'll be happy with that. The roughs certainly seemed like the better beast today. And jumping on board with... I'm not going to be too biased here, but these are my man of the matches, considering they've never teamed together before and it's their debut race. Tim Jackson and Jason Black in third position. Fantastic job in the Evolution Racing Australia car in third place. Back to your boy fourth, not far off in the end actually. Dave Arnold and Warren Pickering, fourth place. No doubt you'll be real happy with that. And just amazingly, 2 seconds behind Jason Black.
Yeah, it was a fantastic drive by David in the end there, so we're really wrapped coming in fourth there. But yeah, I reckon Jason was just going conservative the last couple of laps, playing that gap, making sure bring it home.
Yeah, I got a message through from my team saying, yep, that he's taking it very easy and just bringing it home. So, yeah, no, that's a good shot. It's not for me to take, it's for the team to take. But yeah, a great effort by the boys. And a bit of argy-bargy in the end here with Hayden Bottom and poor Mance as they come across the line. But Reece Gardner coming through in sixth with Matty Barron, a good comeback drive, that extra pit stop. No doubt killed their effort off.
Okay folks, I'll just take you through the final results there. So we had Christopher, what's his name? Brad Wooten.
And Chris Osborne.
Yep, that's the ones. Convincing and well-deserved win there. That was a fantastic drive by them. Dylan Sharman coming in second in the McLaren. They've got to be happy with that, considering last week they had a fairly rough run. Your man there, Jason Black, man of the match, definitely. Fantastic drive there by your team.
Well, a team effort with Tim Jackson, but yeah, considering they haven't done it before, it's excellent.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then David Arnold, Warren Pickering coming in fourth. Fifth was Rod Pinder. Sixth, Reece Gardner. Now, I'm only mentioning the drivers I can see because I don't have their co-driver information here, unfortunately. Martin Davis comes in seventh. Lewis Kilgally, eighth. Timothy Schweck in ninth in the McLaren, and Richard Brookfield. So having a look at the top 10 there, we've got a rough McLaren BMW, rough, sounds like a dog.
Sounds like a dog.
The bevy of BMWs, as I call them, the McLaren, and rounding up the top 10, another rough. So, and by the looks of it, we only had the top 6. We were on the lead lap at the end of that.
Yeah, it's a long race though. We did, what did we do, 81 laps I think it was, so yeah, 6 cars lead lap. One of those 6 cars had to do an extra pit stop, so that's a great effort by them. But yeah, no, it was a good race. And, certainly one to remember for the Direct Clutch Motorsports team, and congratulations to them from third on the grid. Dylan Sharman and Matty Hill from second on the grid maintain their second spot. From ninth on the grid, my boys, the ERA team, up to third. They will be ecstatic about that. You'll Dave Arnold and Warren Pickering maintained their 4th from the grid. Southwest Racing boys, Roddy Pidd from 8th to 5th. Bouts Online from 5th to 6th. So I'm trying to look at significant gains, and probably the biggest gain I can see, and to be honest, it's not that significant. The VPR boys from 16th to 7th, 9-place improvements, probably the biggest gain I would say, and obviously our the biggest loss is our pole man from pole position down to 34th after some severe dramas there.
Yeah, so doesn't look like any drivers are jumping in for a chat, so I'd just like to thank you, Brenton, for jumping in tonight and doing the commentating. It's been fantastic to have you here. It's been really good.
Absolute pleasure, mate, and thanks for having me, and yeah, not sure what I'm doing next week. I might be driving it, or might be going somewhere, don't know, but thank you, and good job to you, and well done to Gavin Sadler and the team for organising the event.
Yeah, so on behalf of RRTV, you've been watching the SEK Queensland GT3 Endurance Series, and coming to you from Daytona International Speedway. So hopefully tune in next week, and we'll see what happens then.